in the city, in the night, even though take it to the I want to love you, baby. Welcome to the afternoon show. I'm your host, Dr. LaDonna Ray. Ken Duncan is out today. Atiba is successfully recovering. I love saying that. Successfully recovering. Hey, Matt, what did I call you? Matt Riot? No, I had another name for you. It was Rage. Matt Rage. You hit me with that song right there. I love that particular song by Michael Jackson. Guys, welcome to the afternoon show. Heard right here on WVON 1690, 63 years and counting. And for those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, please feel free to share the show and make those comments as much as you can. We have no limit on making comments. As you know, we have been, Chicago there's nothing short of anything that's exciting that goes on in Chicago all the time. But if you look up news, there's so many things there's so many different directions that we can go in. But one thing that I thought about just recently, and I have been hit with this recently, for some reason, my hot water heater, okay, I bought it about, I don't know, 11 years ago. And it was replaced. We had to drain it. It's a mess. It can get messy. And then you get a new one and you're like, ah. But lately, for the past 6 or 7 months, my hot water heater, the pilot light goes out. Okay. Now I really can't subscribe to the idea that in 11 years, I have to buy a new one. Okay. A new one. That's not something you buy every 10 years. Remember, your grandmother used to keep their mattresses for 30 years, which was too long. But a water heater, 10 years, and it's already needing to be replaced. I looked up, replacing the hot water piece or whatever the case may be. And again, that is like the least of my worries when I tell you this. When we turn on the faucet every morning, we don't think twice about it. We fill up coffee pots, some of us teapots. We brush our teeth. We cook dinner. We give our children a glass of water before bed or a bottle of water before they go out to play sports. And for most of us, water is something we simply expect to be there, to be hot, to be cold, to be safe. And here in Chicago, we're fortunate. Our drinking water comes from Lake Michigan and consistently recognized as one of the most cleanest municipal drinking water systems in the country. That's something we should expect and appreciate because it didn't happen by accident. It took generations of investment, engineering, treatment, and oversight. But just a few hours away, there are communities where turning on tap doesn't bring peace of mind, it brings questions. And speaking of those questions, you're probably wondering, is our phone line working? Not the water line, but the phone line. I think I got a message that the 773-591-1690 is working. So feel free to give us a call. But here's some questions for you. Is the water safe? Is the water safe wherever you are? Will your basement flood again or next time it rains? That's something that I worry about. And I don't even have a basement. I'm worried, will my house flood? Why do I have to choose between trusting my government and protecting my family's health? These are some questions that you have to ask yourself, or some of you have already done so. Yet we continue to see communities, many of them predominantly Black and underserved, struggling with aging infrastructure, repeated flooding, sewer failures, and violations that leave residents wondering whether the most basic necessity of life is being protected. Today, we're talking about Cahokia Heights. Now, I didn't want to start with this topic simply because I had a meeting this morning about my show flow. But here we are, right? Cahokia Heights. You're probably wondering, where the heck is that? This is where residents have been raising concerns for years about flooding, drinking water quality, and environmental justice. And we just talked about the situation that happened in Gary, or is happening in Gary. We'll also discuss the recent Illinois EPA chlorine violations, what those violations actually mean, and whether families should be concerned. Now, if you may have a family member that's in, maybe not in Cahokia Heights, but in a community such as that one, Joining us are three women working to answer that question every day through advocacy and legal action. Kalia Jackson, Kennedy Miss Gardner, and Nicole Nelson of Equity Legal Services. Ladies, welcome to the afternoon show. We're glad to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So where do we go from here? Because first of all, let's start off with where is Cahokia? Am I saying it right? Cahokia Heights. And why should we be concerned here in Chicago?
Well, this is Nicole. I'll just tell where Cahokia Heights is, and then I'll let you kick in, Cleo. But Cahokia Heights, and when you were telling people like they may not know where it is, if folks know where East St. Louis, Illinois is, they know where Cahokia Heights is. Both of the towns, they border each other and they share a zip code.
Okay, so close enough. So people do have an idea of where this is.
That's a good reference point. And we're right outside of St. Louis, about 15, 20 minutes outside of St. Louis. So it's certainly a good reference point for folks in the northern part of the state.
Now, Kalia, Kennedy, and Nicole, pardon me, I need to know each of you's specialty when it comes to this conversation so that we can kind of direct these questions to the person that can best answer them. Kalia, real quick, can you tell me your position in this?
Yes, hi. This is Kalia Jackson, and I am the senior staff attorney here at Equity Legal Services. I have been working with the residents since 2018 alongside Nicole. I was originally the director of legal services at a fair housing organization called the Metropolitan St. Louis Equal Housing Opportunity Council. Shout out to Hope, Chicago up there. So I have been working to organize the residents for many years now, alongside Nicole, and I'll pass it to Kennedy.
All right. And we're going to take a real quick break. So Kennedy, or should I say attorneys Kennedy and Nicole, please give me a second. When we come back, I want you to tell us what your focus is when it comes to this particular conversation so that we can have some more time with you on the other side with some specific questions. We'll be right back. Traffic and weather.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, are you ready to ride through art, culture, and pure Bronzeville magic? The Bronzeville Art District Trolley Tour is back every third Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Hop aboard our double-decker trolley buses for a night of art, community, and unforgettable vibes. For powerful exhibits at Blanc Gallery to creative expressions at the Bronzeville Art Lofts, to cultural treasures at Fay African Art and the soul-stirring brilliance of Gallery Gashard. Each stop is a whole experience. This is not just a tour, it's a moving celebration of Bronzeville's heartbeat. Meet the artist, feel the rhythm, bring your friends, bring your energy. June 19th, July 17th, August 21st, and September 18th. Every third Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. And it's free to ride the Bronzeville Art District Trolley Tour. 20 years strong and still rolling. Tap in for the culture. Tap in for the ride. RSVP now at Eventbrite and search the Bronzeville Art District Trolley Tour 2026. See you there.
Rent a boat, bring your own, or fish from shore. The Forest Preserves of Cook County has more than 40 fishing sites across Cook County. This message brought to you by the Forest Preserves of Cook County. Visit fpdcc.com to explore the forest preserves.
Coming to Wind Creek Casino and Hotel for one night only, it's the Terry Hunter Live Music Experience, presented by Dion Cole. For the first time ever, the music that has defined Terry Hunter's legendary career comes to life with a full live band, incredible vocalists, and an unforgettable production. Get your tickets for the August 29th show now at windcreek.com/Terry Hunter. It's only at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Get your outfits, grab your crew, and get on board with the Me Plus 3 special starting at $1,000 per person. This time, join the Foundation Fantastic Voyage 2025 cruise will be fun, entertaining, and this will be a once-in-a-lifetime event with seminars, fitness workouts, parades, concerts, and much more starting at $1,000. Call 214-495-1963 to book your Me Plus 3 cabin. Prices are based on 4 passengers in the cabin, so book today while they last and before cabins are sold out.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic. 24 minutes, I-57, Ryan's I-80, 2-minute delay. 17 minutes, Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, stop and go traffic, 19 minutes. Stevenson to Sable Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 32 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office, stop and go traffic, 37 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. There is an accident on the left shoulder, Kennedy at California Avenue, 42 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago. Night storms possible, high of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, stray showers, high of 79 and a low of 66. In our city, it's currently 79 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page. The Talk Chicago, WVON, 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. It's the afternoon show. Atiba Buchanan is out today, yesterday, tomorrow, last week, the week before that. But that's okay. You all know he just had a kidney transplant and he is resting well. All right, guys, it's the chance for you to hear what's going on in Cahokia I'm saying it wrong now. Cahokia Heights. Number one, there's a situation where the water or the Illinois EPA cited both Cahokia Heights and the Illinois American Water over chlorine residential requirements. And there wasn't enough chlorine in the water. So that's why this conversation is important. And we left off before the break, just getting an idea of what each attorney is working on when it comes to this particular situation. Kalia, Attorney Kalia, thank you so much for your information on what you're focusing on. And then Attorney Kennedy, please, I want to get you in there as well, real quick.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Kennedy Mears Gardner, and I'm a staff attorney with Equity Legal Services. I have a background in eviction defense and fair housing work, but I have jumped on with the ELS team and have been here for about 3 years now. And we as a team have put together this drinking water testing program. So, yeah, we do everything together and we all specialize in similar things.
All right. Attorney Nicole, real quick.
And Nicole, I believe, is
like
on.
Kennedy said,
Go ahead.
Yep. We all specialize in the same thing, just like Ms. Kennedy was saying.
Awesome. Here's my question. Sometimes residents have grown to the point where they were afraid to drink or to drink tap water. Bottled water has taken hold over most households in the state of Illinois. But with your confirmation of this violation occurring, what kind of accountability can residents realistically expect?
Well, that's a great question because for far too long, the utilities in this region in the Metro East have not been held to any account. So I think what they want is what everyone wants. What you said at the outset, they want to be able to turn the tap on and use their water and be assured that it will not make them sick, that it will not make their children sick and their grandchildren sick. So what we are calling on the IEPA and the governor's office to do is to hold the utilities to that standard. So we're asking that they ensure that the system is appropriately chlorinated at all times and all places, and that so that we can ensure that opportunistic illnesses are not taking a hold. We want them to invest in the infrastructure in the area. Our residents in our area, I don't know in your community, but in this community, the residents pay multiple water bills. They pay a hefty drinking water bill to their local municipality and also to Illinois American Water. But that money doesn't get invested back in the community. It gets invested back in the pockets of billionaires and people who are wealthier than their neighbors in the local level. So we're asking that they invest that money that they receive back into the community. And we're also asking that, from an immediate standpoint, that they provide the residents with safe water. We've been calling on IAW and on Cokia Heights to provide clean, potable water to the residents for years now. And we have re-upped that call. We want them to issue appropriate boil orders and spread the word so people know about these issues.
Yeah. Just to kind of sum it up, what have these residents been living with this whole time? Because we're talking about clean water. We're mentioning the word of chlorine. Because when I hear chlorine, or if anyone else may hear chlorine, they may think less chlorine sounds like a good thing. I mean, we hear words like chlorine and fluoride, and we just don't know. So what have they been living with? And what is the thing that people need to listen for?
So for our residents, what happened is, so for going back for as many as a decade, more for some people, right? We have residents who would turn on the water and the water would come out black or sludgy. The water comes out smelling bad, tasting bad, discolored, right? The kind of thing we have residents say that their dogs won't drink the water, literally. You put a bowl, right? Okay. And so, yes, like when we think about, when we hear those names and we think about chemicals in our water, sometimes we don't know what that means. But in this instance, there are disinfectants that are added to the water that keep the bacteria that grows in the underground pipes, because all of our water is brought to us underground, and there's a lot going on underground. We don't think about it in a day because, as you said, most of us are able to turn our drinking water on, turn our tap on, take a bath, take a shower without any thought, right? Mm-hmm. But in this community, residents were experiencing some of those kind of visceral things, but also residents in our area have a higher percentage of an illness called H. pylori. It's a gut bacteria that causes, and not for those who are sensitive, but causes severe gastrointestinal problems, things like vomiting and diarrhea. Residents experiencing rare gastrointestinal issues. Their doctors saying that this is unusual. They're not normally seeing these kinds of things. And we partnered with scientists from Washington University in St. Louis who have shown that residents in this area have a higher percentage of this illness than would be expected in a system like the United States. Because most of those illnesses have been eradicated in well-functioning systems. So there are those things when we're talking about bleach, we're talking about safe levels. So not too much, not too little, but kind of that just right amount. And the reason why Cahokia Heights and Illinois American Water were cited separately, because both of them have provide water to residents in different parts of the community. And the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency found that their levels had fallen below the state minimum standard. So the state minimum requires that there be a certain percentage or a certain amount of chlorine in the water at all times to keep the water safe, and found that those numbers were well below that in this community.
You know, this is kind of creepy, just because I think about when you own a business, particularly selling food, your refrigeration has to be at a certain level, cannot be below. So many different standards and violations can be given to these different businesses and even shut down. But when the government is dropping the ball in that area, it sounds like it's allowed to go on far too long. Where can we? What are the next steps for the community when it comes to the drinking water in Cahokia?
So one of the things, so the residents came together and since 2019, so for over going on 7 years now, they themselves have fundraised with private and fundraisers to provide water. Jaden Smith's organization, 501c3, donated a water box to the community, the same one that's in Flint. They donated that years ago. So what we are hopeful is that now, whereas the community has been long ready to recognize this problem, and to your point, hold the government accountable, we're hoping now that IEPA is in the state of Illinois is ready to do so as well. So we are going to continue our testing program. So ELS will be announcing very shortly its third cohort of testing in the area. We've just completed a year of testing. We're going to keep going. And also IEPA is committed to at least one more round of testing in the community in the fall.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, who was that just speaking?
That was Kalila.
Okay, that's what I thought. Attorney Kalila Kennedy, Attorney Kennedy, Attorney Nicole. I know that you guys, everyone is really fighting hard to work this through, and you guys are welcome to come back even more, because we're going to continue following this story in Cahokia Heights and the Illinois American Water. We want to see the response to the Illinois EPA citations in the coming weeks. And thank you again to Equity Legal Services for the work you're doing on behalf of the community. We really do appreciate it, especially with us seeing all of these disastrous things happening or events happening all over the country, and especially in our communities.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys, we're well over the break. Sorry about that. And Mike and Karen, I see you holding. We'll get to you in just a second as soon as we come back from the break. And when we come back, you want to hear about some celebration going on? Man, we need some of that. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. The Jesse White Tumblers performed their quarterfinal routine on season 21 of America's Got Talent tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time on NBC and Peacock. Jesse White, the longtime Illinois politician and former Illinois Secretary of State, spoke with WVON's Matt McGill about what the opportunity means for his organization and what it took to make it this far.
December 1959 came the Jesse White tumbling team. We are, about 67 years old as we speak. I believe that when you come through this world and become successful, you give back, but every day you must do something good for someone. Our young people have to be in school on time every day and have one aim in their mind, and that's to get the best education possible, because one day they're going to help run this great country of ours. It's important for us to make sure that we give them the tools that are necessary for that to occur. They also have to be leafless, smokeless, and pipeless. The only time they can practice pharmacy is after they've earned a white coat. You know what I'm talking about. They say, well, the tumbling part of it is one that the kids really enjoy, and it's good and great for the community, because these young people get a chance to show the world how athletic they are and about their commitment to duty. And so, as it turned out, we have about 13 units right now as we speak. We do about 1,500 shows a year.
Emmanuel McGee, head coach, leader, choreographer, and manager of the Jesse White Tumblers, told us how we can support and vote for the Jesse White Tumblers.
They can participate in the voting process by going on TikTok, AGT.com, all social media platforms such as Instagram, and they have to be able to vote. They have up to times so they can vote on those social media platforms. But when they do vote, they have to make sure that they have to have a different comment as they vote. So let's say, for instance, if they vote for Mr. Jesse White, they have to say, we want Mr. Jesse White to win, or they can say, for the next comment, go Tumblers or go Mr. White, so on and so forth. Each person gets up to 10 votes per platform. So if they go on any social media such as IG, TikTok, AGT, they have to be able to vote at least 10 times per person.
After advancing through the judge auditions with 4 yeses votes, the Chicago-based troupe now depends entirely on overnight viewer voting to advance to the next stage. The Jesse White Tumblers began in 1959 and have been a Chicago tradition for decades. In other news, West Suburban Downers Grove officials say tornado sirens were accidentally activated early this morning. DuPage Public Safety Communications was testing the system, and the tornado siren was set off around 3 a.m., even when there was no severe weather in sight. After the error was noticed, DUCOM staff deactivated the sirens. The agency normally tests the sirens on the first Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. In other news, Indiana Governor Mike Braun has announced emergency aid grants up to $5,000 for storm victims who need help with food and clothing. Residents can begin the assistance process by calling 211 or 866-211-9966. SNAP recipients who lost food during prolonged power outages may also qualify for replacement benefits. The state is also offering temporary housing assistance and vouchers to residents displaced by the storms. And Kanye West, aka Ye, will perform in Russia in October. That's according to a social media post Monday from Gazprom Arena, the St. Petersburg venue holding the concerts. West has been banned from performing in several European nations after a pattern of anti-Semitic remarks in recent years, something he attributes to untreated bipolar disorder and undiagnosed brain injury. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
Today, people are keeping their cars a lot longer. But if your manufacturer's warranty has expired, the high cost of auto repairs could put you on the hook for big bucks. Ludacris here to let you know that with Endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for covered car repairs again. With the drivetrain, transmission, electrical, AC, and hundreds more parts all covered.
In less than 1 year of signing up, Endurance saved me over $7,000.
You pick the certified mechanic and Endurance pays them directly. If your car is under 20 years old, you're covered with unlimited miles, and your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file.
I've had 5 claims for over $12,000.
Who's going to cover your next breakdown, you or Endurance? Choose your plan today and get a full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-290-0239. 800-290-0239. 800-290-0239.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Protect your money and build your wealth. Sundays at 3 p.m., host and owners of Top and Top Insurance Agency, Clydell and Betty Top, teach you about protecting your assets, 401ks, annuities, life after retirement, the differences and benefits of life insurance, and they take questions. Their advice can enhance your financial future and your legacy. Call for a free WVON financial consultation, 773-881-8110. Tune in Sundays at 3 p.m. to protect your money and build your wealth. Powered by Top and Top Insurance Agency.
This report is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where we've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We don't have time for the music. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the afternoon show right here on WVON 1690. Guys, you can hit those phone lines again, 773-591-1690. I miss saying that. 773-591-1690. Guys, let's go straight to the phone lines before I get to my next guest. Mike M., it looks like you have a comment on the water situation. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. But I think we all need to be very concerned about water because, 60 to 70% of our body is water, the liquid. And where we get it from and how clean and pure it is makes a difference in your life on the basis of how long you're going to live. We live right here next to Lake Michigan, like you mentioned. Mm-hmm. And I think it's between number 10 and number 16 in the body of fresh water in the world. So that's something to think about. And I'm going to leave you with this. There's a documentary out called Big Chicken. And the interesting thing about that documentary, and it's kind of a comedian that's doing it, and it's on Netflix. It talks about how the waste of the chicken is spoiling the land and poisoning the streams and the water and it's getting in the groundwater and well water, and it's causing us to die.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Mike. It is something we need to be concerned about. Sometimes when you hear people speak like that, you feel like, oh, yeah, right. No, you need to pay attention. I'm so serious. You need to pay attention. Hey, Karen, you're live on WVON.
Well, you're so right because I bought a house out in South Village many moons ago, and the water is terrible out there. You can't drink, you can't cook with it. You barely can bathe with it unless you go by the salt. So this here where we are, Harvey has issues with plants coming out there, people getting cancer. Our Gill Garden, my point is this. A young man was on the radio the other day. I don't know if people saw the internet where the young people booed the mayor. Well, we keep talking about the jobs that certain factories will bring. But what about the deaths? Who can work if everybody's dead? And we speak of the government, just the word government. It tells you they're going to govern. It's governing. We don't want nobody to govern us. We were given water, air, fire, light, and we don't value it. We're always talking about money and the jobs that it will bring. But what has it done?
Yeah.
We're dying. And the sad part is our people don't realize the lawsuits that they have. Young people are fighting because young people are doing something that most of us didn't do. We didn't research. Young people have these cell phones today. Yeah, they might be on it playing games and all that. But young people look up stuff. So when the mayor came to that meeting and they were saying, boo, we don't care how much money. We don't care what Pritchard is doing. We want to be able to drink water. We want to be able to live. And we as grown people have allowed things to just, okay, but it's going to bring a job. Who wants a job? Because the only thing these jobs are doing for every 4 people, they're giving one wealthy person a pension.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just say this, let me just say this, darling. It's time to stop it. And people better start listening because listening to this show, I learned so much. And you know what I really learned? How many of our men have sold us out for their egos just to get the bag? Have a great day.
Watch it now. Watch it. Thank you, Karen. Well, I tell you what, before we get to our guest, I said that before. I feel like a pastor when he says, and I'll close, right? But I want to just give a shout out. And someone made a comment that is so important. He said, Josephine, actually, she said, thank you for Dr. LaDonna Ray for your coverage of the crisis in Gary. And would you thank those who took action and helped those in need? And for those residents that became leaders and helped their neighbors during the crisis. Yes, you are so right, Miss Josephine. Thank you so much to all of us that really took a stance and said, no more, we're not going to wait. We're going to do something about this. And all of the neighboring cities that came together, also the neighbors that came together to make sure that those people made it through this crisis. So absolutely thank you. Big, huge thank you and recognition to you. All right. Um, some people, some people leave behind memories, right? Others leave behind a mission. Well, the legendary Mary D left behind both. For generations of Chicagoans, Mary D was a trusted voice, an award winning journalist, and one of the city's most beloved television personalities. But beyond the newsroom, she was a woman of extraordinary courage, compassion, and service. Her life became a testament to resilience after surviving a horrific kidnapping and shooting. And she dedicated herself to lifting others through mentorship, education, and community engagement. Joining us now is Dr. Julian Wright, a respected educator, community leader, and member of the board of directors of the Mary D. Foundation. Dr. Wright has been instrumental in helping advance the foundation's mission of preserving Mary D's legacy while inspiring a new generation to lead with purpose, character, and compassion. Welcome to WVON.
Thank you so much, LaDonna Ray. Dr. LaDonna Ray Edit. You know what?
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You know, sitting across from you, I know that I'm sitting across from Legacy
Yes.
and the branches of Legacy.
Yes.
We literally have a painting in WVON that has a picture of your grandmother on the painting.
Yes.
How did you feel the first time you saw that? Just
Yes.
before we get to the foundation.
Yeah. You know, I was extremely excited. It was just, and I didn't know it was here. And I remember walking in, I was like, that's my grandmother. So I'm like, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just that she's been a part of so many things. And WVON is just something that I know, and she loved WVON.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they honor her. And so I appreciate that.
We absolutely do.
Yes.
And when we come back from this traffic and weather break, we're going to talk about who was Mary D.
That's
Even
right.
though you and we already talked about it.
That's right.
But I want the listeners to hear from your mouth to their ears.
Absolutely.
Right here on the afternoon show. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, are you ready? Chicago Public Schools are back in session Monday, August 24th. It's time to get the backpacks ready, sharpen those pencils, set those alarms, and get 300,000 students ready for another year of learning, growth, and possibility. To every CPS student, parent, teacher, and school leader, we're cheering you on because education is the great equalizer. It's the pathway from opportunity to possibility. Let's start this school year strong. Chicago Public Schools back to school Monday, August 24th. WVON cares.
When you play the Illinois Lottery, you're generating funds that support education. No matter the prize, Illinois wins. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise more for education. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 years or older to play. Game odds available at illinoislottery.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Get $5 off at alignprobiotics.com.
Growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means embracing a new chapter. Join Dr. LaDonna Ray for Senior Talks, featuring honest conversations about health, family, finances, community, and living your best life at every age. Get information you can use and inspiration you can carry with you. That's Senior Talks with Dr. LaDonna Ray, Saturdays at 7 a.m., only on WVON.
WVON is more than a radio station. We're your connection to Black America. That means we're everywhere. On Facebook at WVON, on Instagram at WVON, and on the WVON app. WVON is everywhere.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Hope you're having safe travels. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown at 95th, stop and go traffic. 26 minutes, I-57. Ryan's I-80, 3-minute delay, 18 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94. There is a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder, Bishop Ford, outbound north of 111th Street. 20 minutes. Stevenson to Sumble, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 41 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf Post Office, stop and go traffic, 39 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. Please be cautious. There is a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. Kennedy at Monroe Street, 45 minutes. And Edens, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, night storms possible, high of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, stray showers, high of 79 and a low of 66 in our city. It's currently 79 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Respectfully, I say to thee, I'm aware that you're cheating when no one makes me feel like you do. Sit down, boy, you turn me inside.
All right. It is the afternoon show. Dr. LaDonna Ray in the building. You know, there's nothing like sitting across from a very well-known person's, legendary person's family, offspring. You know, I had the pleasure of meeting your father. And when I say I am sitting in the studio with Dr. Julian Wright, who has actually curated the Mary D Foundation.
Yes.
This has been your baby.
Yes.
And I wanted for you to give us a summation of who was Mary D in a short version, but I don't want to know who she was. So we can look that up.
Right.
Who was she to you?
She was just simply grandmother. As I stated before,
You called her grandmother or grandma?
Called her grandmother.
Really?
Yes, grandmother. Yes, I called her grandmother. And so she was just a classy, youthful lady, though. That's why I said she was always a person that she held on to her youth, but she also advanced in life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that she always wanted to know what was going on today. That was that journalist in her.
Yeah.
So she wanted to know what's happening. How do you do this now? Things are different from back then and now. So, but she was just a person she was up to date. She was a lady of today.
Wow. And with that horrific kidnapping, no one can ever forget that. I remember saying, I remember when that happened.
Yes.
No, I remember when I was told that it happened.
Okay.
I believe it was in 1971. Do I have the
believe
year
so.
correct?
I believe
Close, or if not, I'll look it up. But here's the thing. When my mother told me about it, I could only imagine how horrific that was. And
Yes.
now in her passing, she passed with grace.
Yes.
And we super love her.
Yes.
But tell us about the foundation. What does the foundation do?
Yes. Well, the foundation.
What's the name of it, first of all?
It is called the D Foundation, but it's known as the Mary D Foundation.
Mhm.
And so it is a nonprofit 501c3 that I just start to think about. And as people know that's my grandmother, they would always come to me and people would say, "Oh, that's your grandmother. Oh, she helped me get my job. She helped me get started." So I'm like, well, what can we do to continue this thing? What can we do that will help those stories continue? I don't want to just hear it of the past and this history, but it needs to be up to date.
Yeah.
We have people that needs to be taught and trained, and they will always come to me and say, she mentored me, or she showed me what to do, and she got me into a place that I needed to be in, different things. So I'm like, when I begin to sit down and think, I got with my father, and I'm like, we have to continue this. I've been doing my own thing in my career for sure, in broadcasting and different things like that. But I'm like, we need to do something in that name. I'm like, to push it and to really let people know of today who that was.
Mhm.
It's a name that should forever live on. And the work of it will never go in vain, as long as not as long as I'm alive.
And what is the work?
The work of it is with the D Foundation, we're going to be doing scholarships. That's something she loved to do. Is she believed in education. So that's for the start thing that she helped out tremendous people and honestly raised millions and millions and billions and trillions of dollars for many organizations, especially the United Negro College Fund. She helped with them and just several other ones. So we're going to be doing scholarships. We're going to be doing mentorships for youth and adults. We're going to get the youth out there to show them and train them the right ways in life. We want to be the examples of them to show them this is how you do this. This is how you present yourself. This is how you're supposed to build yourself. And also, we want to build a better life because they are, we could talk about the youth and complain about them, but at the end of the day, they're next, whether we ready for them or not. So, but I'm like, we have to prepare them to be next and what's going on today and educate them of yesterday. And so with that, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing yearly award ceremonies, awarding local and international people.
And you haven't started yet.
With which part?
The award ceremony.
Yes.
The first one is this year.
The first one is this year.
Yes.
The very first one is going to be this year. And so outside of the award show, like I said, we're doing mentorship with seniors, especially because a lot of people that are seniors, I'm like, they feel like their time has passed or, always, I've done that, been there, did that. I'm like, no, you still have a voice. My grandmother, she was a person that Mary D kept going until the day she died. So she was an unstoppable lady. Even we would say, sit down and get some rest. She still was getting up, going to shaking hands, getting pictures, going to on camera, speaking at events and speaking at graduations. Or she'll say, I'm going to this person's event to support them, to surprise them. And so she was just that lady.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. We want to bring that type of encouragement. And so the D Foundation that's what we're going to be doing with that. And then also we're going to get our hands dirty. We want to work with the homeless. We want to transform lives. That's every principle that she believed in carry out through her career and life. We're bringing this into the Mary D Foundation.
Now, who are some of the awardees that you have for your inaugural awardee or award ceremony, I should say?
Yes. So we honored to have, first of all, our Educator of the Year, who is an awesome lady, Dr. Macklin King, the CEO and president of Chicago Public Schools.
Yes.
And so we're going to be honoring her. Outside of that, we're going to be honoring the Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton. We'll be honoring her. We're excited to give her an awesome award for the things that she's doing and pushing and everything like that. And then outside of that, we have Tia Ewan. And those who know, she's an awesome journalist here in Chicago, just pushing the news and putting the work in.
How did you choose your awardees? These sound like some amazing women, but how can you choose?
Yeah. I wanted to really be strategic. It's not just me. We have a board as well.
Is it women only?
For what?
For your awardees?
No.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is the majority of it is women.
Okay.
I didn't pay attention to afterwards. I was like, oh, we got a good list. I'm like, wait a minute. We got a lot of women out here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, they're going to think this is an all women's award show. But we do have a male, thankfully, for Marcel Jackson. He's going to be honored as well.
Yeah.
For Radio Personality of the Year. But outside of that, at the end of the day, we want to give people their flowers. And one thing about picking people, we were strategically looking for people who's putting in the work, who has been growing into the community, and honestly, not just outside of a name, but have the heart for the community.
Yeah.
We want to see people that's actually out there behind the scenes. I've actually been able to see a lot of these people behind closed doors in their free time. They're no pay, no nothing. It's just them putting their genuine earned faith and love into the community. And that's what we were looking for.
What do you think by being in media yourself and your grandmother being in media for so long, what do you think she would say about the media today?
I think that she will be proud of the growth. And I think that she also will be a person that she always believed that you never stop learning. And I believe that it's never too late to continue to learn. We should be learning every single day of our lives, honestly. But I believe that she was a lady that she learned as much as she's done. And she's the legendary broadcaster, Mary D, but she always learned.
Yeah.
And so I think that.
And always taught.
Yeah, always taught, always learned. She never let her lessons go to the grave with her. That's one thing I appreciate about her. She didn't just share with her family, but she wanted to share with each and every person. So that way, mistakes that she probably went through in life, the next person doesn't have to go through, or at the end of the things that she's able to succeed in, she's been able to be a stepping stool to the next person. And so that's one thing I would say that it's needed more. We have to be able to be a help to one another more.
How can people get involved? I'm proud to say that I am one of the founding members of the D Foundation.
Yes.
And how can others get involved and learn more about the events that you have coming up, and anything else that you would need volunteers and things of that nature for the D Foundation?
Yes, they can get involved into the D Foundation by visiting our website at www.mddeefoundation.com. That's again mdeefoundation.com. You can visit there, or you can definitely reach out to me at Dr. Julian Wright on Instagram and social media, but definitely like the Facebook page, the Mary D Foundation. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Reach out. We have a page on the website that allows you to send in a message. Let us know you want to reach out. Let us know you want to get your hands dirty, get involved. Let us know you want to support, most importantly, or you can give to the foundation. And so we're open to do it. And it's not for us, it's for the community. It's for the people.
I love that. I love that. Guys, Mary is spelled Merri.
That's right.
Yes, I love that. Well, you know what? Thank you, Dr. Julian Wright, for coming on and telling us about you, a little bit about you. It's so much, because I don't think a half hour is long enough to talk about the legendary Mary D. But I definitely wanted everybody to know about the organization, the foundation, and how to keep up with you guys. I'm going to put the information in the chat. And make sure you guys get involved. Of course, you can give us a call, 773-591-1690. Thank you, Dr. Julian Wright.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. This is the afternoon show, but you know what time it is. News, traffic, and weather. Up next, we'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Porter County Superior Court judge arrested on drunk driving charges. FAA investigates 2 O'Hare Tire incidents. Polling firm shuts down after false data. And Sasha Obama and Megan Thee Stallion spotted together. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
BIN News Now. Some Southside residents are speaking out against a proposed data center redevelopment at the former Southworth Steel Plant site. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
If they were to do that, they would be strictly bound to the executive order that I have put forth to provide stronger regulations.
Opponents say they have concerns about the project's impact on the surrounding community. Netflix is seeking to dismiss Tyra Banks' defamation lawsuit over its America's Next Top Model documentary. Banks claims the film created a misleading portrayal of her role on the show, while Netflix says it stands by the documentary and plans to vigorously defend it in court. And Colin Kaepernick is marking nearly a decade since his protest against police brutality by committing $1 million to community organizations through his Know Your Rights camp. The initiative will fund education, legal rights, mental health, and youth programs in Black and brown communities. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Back to Terry McCready.
3 U.S. states are holding primaries today, while California is holding a special U.S. House election. Races for the House, Senate, and governor are being held in Alaska, Wyoming, and Florida, where a crowded field of GOP candidates, including Black Representative Byron Donalds, is hoping to replace term-limited Governor Ron DeSantis. Several Democrats are also running. In California, 2 Democrats emerged from the June primary to see who will serve out the remainder of former Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell's term. Swalwell resigned after he was accused of sexual assault. Meanwhile, in Florida, Black progressive House candidate Elijah Manley is blasting Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz for attempting to dilute Black representation by running in a newly drawn South Florida district where she faces 4 Black candidates.
Yes, she has seniority and she's been an ally in many ways, but she should run in the 22nd district where she lives, where she could have helped pick up a seat for the Democratic Party in the midterms to add to our majority. But my lived experience as someone who grew up after the 2008 financial crisis and homelessness, we lost everything. And that lived experience is so important in the district right now.
27-year-old Manley on NBC News. He says the former Democratic National Committee chairwoman's decision to seek re-election in Florida's redrawn 20th congressional district is cynical. President Trump is defending his directive to the Pentagon to scale back joint military exercises with South Korea. Trump telling reporters yesterday he had spoken with South Korea's president about getting a hand with Iran and was turned down.
When I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help with Iran, but if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no, thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un.
Trump said he was disappointed with the response given the U.S. has 39,000 troops stationed there guarding against any attack from North Korea. Trump said the U.S. cannot go around and protect all of the countries, especially when they are not around to help us. An attempt to address California's housing shortage is back on the November ballot. Proposition 1 asks California voters to approve borrowing over $11 billion for affordable housing. The plan includes just over $1 billion for veterans loans. Most funding comes from state bonds repaid by taxpayers. Supporters say thousands of housing units are ready to move forward but need funding. Opponents argue borrowing more won't fix the crisis and could cause long-standing unexpected costs for taxpayers. According to the state, the total cost could reach nearly $17.5 billion over 3 decades. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like the UPS Store, your one-stop shop for personal and small business solutions at 460 West Irving Park Road, Suite C in Bensonville. Highland Vans, custom-built and designed vans at 872 Cambridge Drive in Elk Grove Village. Samco Restaurant Equipment, family-owned equipment and small wares, located at 2347 136th Street in Blue Island.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Get $5 off at alignprobiotics.com.
It's Matt McGill.
President Trump participating in the dignified transfer of the bodies of people who were lost in battle. What the hell are we doing putting people in harm's way? Why we got an 18-year-old in harm's way? This girl just graduated from high school. Some of y'all got the nerve to defend Donald Trump? Really? It's a damn shame, man.
Weekdays at noon on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, 28 minutes. I-57, Ryan Tying 85 minutes delay, 20 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan Tying 94. There is a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. Bishop Ford, north of 111th Street, 20 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic, 43 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office, stop and go traffic, 39 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 49 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, Smooth Sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Night storms possible, high of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, stray showers, high of 79 and a low of 66 in our city. It's currently 79 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago WVON 1690 AM.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Yeah, a little bit of baseball. What? Welcome back. It is the afternoon show. And let me tell you something. Somebody just came in off a yacht.
Oh, man, I'm still floating.
Somebody came in off of a yacht, and his name is State Rep Ken Duncan.
What on with good people?
Good people it is. Listen, welcome back. What was the party like? Did you were there any rules? And what were the rules of and what city did it take place in?
Well, this is in the beautiful, lushful San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
You only have to have white souls or tan souls.
Oh, on the boat.
And here's what the valuable lesson I learned is you, ladies and gentlemen, could not be high. You can't smoke weed, crack, heroin, or get drunk and expect to be saved or not bust your derriere on a yacht. Walking up and down those stairs, let me tell you. And the stairs, as you know, are you walk through. So those were the rules. And guess who followed them?
Everyone.
Nobody.
Okay, so you were smoking crack.
No. They ran out.
Okay, they ran out of crack.
I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Okay, no offense to anyone
kids?
who. No, I don't call them that. Anyone who is addicted to crack, because I lost my aunt to that.
Well,
but watch
listen.
this. I'm glad you're back safe.
Thank
because my first question when you said you were going to a yacht party was
Two-day yacht party.
Are they white? Okay, I didn't want anything to happen to you.
The new lynching doctor for black folk is
water.
It's
right.
water.
It's water. Right. All right. For sure. Now, as you wipe off your microphone and we can hear it.
Yes.
I love the fact that you clean everything up. I'm going to grab these callers while you get yourself situated because I got more
LaDonna.
questions.
I heard
for
you holding it down. I listened a couple of times. I went to the San Diego Zoo last night.
What was the weather like?
Man, look here. I should have had something on. It's a California hot. I was like,
yeah, you about my complexion today.
Slap you in the face with a hot spatula, doctor. You ever had a hot spatula from the grill get slapped in the face? Oh, no. That's how the sun is, like in Africa and the Caribbean. But go ahead with the guest.
All right, Mama D, you are live
Mama
on
D.
WVON.
Well, God rising, can you hear me?
I surely can.
Yes.
Okay, I knew Mary D. And after Global Committee commemorating King Day, met with Mayor Harold Washington and with my preschool scholars and their mothers. And we gave him 2,000 signatures for him to proclaim April 4th as a day for victims of violence, which he did. And Mary D. served as a panelist as a victim of violence. And when she told, what stands out to me about telling her story was after she and her co-worker was kidnapped and they were taken out and he was shot in the head and killed. And she was shot in the head left for dead. And then she said, what really I have never been able to forget is that she said when she got into the police car, the police officer told her, don't be bleeding all over my car.
Okay.
That's ugly.
Boy.
Yeah, that's ugly.
His car.
That gets me today. But she also served as an MC in 1991 when we did the first unveiling for Emmett Till Road, going from South Lakeshore Drive to Kidsey. But on July 25th, we went from Kidsey to the end of the to Pulaski, what we wanted to do in 1991 but couldn't. It is now Mamie and L. Till Road. E for Emmett and L for Lewis.
Wow.
So she and I go back a while.
And you played a magnanimous role in helping to facilitate that street change, name changing.
Well, that is if you consider conceiving the idea, because I could have called it Emmett Till Avenue or Emmett Till Boulevard.
Yes.
And then writing the ordinance, because his legacy had been buried for 30 years and did nobody want to bring it up. That's why it took 3.5 years of knocking on the doors and getting signatures to finally, but we're psychically connected because Emmett Till died on August 28, 1955, and that was my 10th birthday, August 28.
Thank you, Mama D.
Okay, thank you.
Mama D She always on point.
Yes, for sure.
She played a major role with that happening.
She did. Do you still have so I was going to ask you about the yacht, but I have, as I was talking about, were your friends white? I hate that we have to even say that. But did you being a parent, did you ever have to have that conversation with your children about being Black in America? Did you have to have the Black talk?
Not specifically. My kids just know what time it is. They know to be respectful to any man and woman, as most Black people are. In general, we're not in this high level violent Caucasoid mindset. Quite frankly.
Well, I think that even the deeper question would be: did your children under a certain age just not see racism as existing? Did they think they were in this post-racism era? You know what I'm saying? Like my kids, my 15 and now 17. Today is Logan's birthday. Happy birthday, Logan!
Today? Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Logan. I gotta help you out on the Chicago Bears and understanding real football too.
No, that was Liam. You got them mixed up. I'm talking about Logan. Logan's
yeah. The 8, who's 15?
That's Liam.
All right. Well,
yeah. I get confused too. Don't worry. But the question is: do our young people feel like they are in a post, racism or racist era in their lives? Because at one point I was like that.
Yeah, I think we all went through that phase. You spent time in the suburbs, predominantly white. I went to Lincoln Park High School. They may have. I know one thing. They're level-minded young folk, and you're blessed. I met Logan and Liam, two nice guys, very wonderful, bright, and they're teens. I think it's important for teenagers to be able to be teenagers and not have overly preconceived notions. And that takes a lot, not to be oblivious, but it's critical for our kids to be outside, to not color within the boundaries, if you will, right? Coloring books in school, they give you books where they're aligned to the color within. That's a major problem, the way I see it. I think it's critical for us to be able to read, write, and think on our own terms when it comes to our creativity and how we're trying to engage our future, quite frankly. Psychologically, it can be devastating.
Well, what else is critical is this break. So we're going to go ahead and go to break. Traffic and weather up next. When we come back, we got our intern on the line, Miss Kayla. She's got something she wants to share with us. Right after I tell you why I asked you that question. Right here on WVON 1690.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Summer is here, the season of sunshine, swimming, picnics, and the freedom to have fun and enjoy yourself. United Fidelity Bank believes freedom starts with smart savings. Whether you're hanging with friends and family or enjoying a summer night, your money should still be working for you. Open a United Fidelity Bank 18-month certificate of deposit with a 4.35% annual percentage yield. It's a simple, steady way to grow your savings, letting your money work for you. At United Fidelity Bank, they focus on you, your needs, your goals, your questions. Their personal service is something you will not find at a big box bank. Get the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by their Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street to open your 18-month, 4.35% APY CD today. Or visit UnitedFidelity.com. United Fidelity Bank, where your summer of smart savings begins.
Rate subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to the standard rate in effect at the time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
Weather alert, traffic jam, emergency? Don't panic. Get the OEMC app. All the city updates right in your pocket. Fast, easy, ready whenever you are. Download now and stay one step ahead. Chicago's safety and weather info literally at your fingertips.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no jive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Hey Chicago, hey, I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown 95th, stop and go traffic, 29 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 7-minute delay, 22 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94. There is a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. Bishop Ford, north of 111th Street, 22 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, the Tri-State stop and go traffic, 44 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf Depot stop and go traffic 37 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare stop and go traffic 49 minutes. And Eden's Monjose Cook smooth sailing 16 minutes. Your weather for 2 days, Chicago night storms possible. High of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow straight showers, high of 79 and a low of 66. In our city, it's currently 79 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page. The Talk Chicago, WVON, 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Used to put anything before your pride. Yeah, will. All your problems.
All right, I just couldn't let that one slide. Tell me something good. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so you're listening to the afternoon show. Guys, you got those comments coming in strong.
They hot.
I want to just inform you that our phone lines are back up and running. We went an entire week, which is nothing short of, a little bit of an inconvenience, but we are still up and running. We're back up and running at 773-591-1690.
1690.
That's
okay,
right. We got our
now we're
1690 back. But also, if you're on Facebook Live, make sure you share the show. There's some comments coming up. Somebody said, hello from Mississippi. Well, hello from MISSISSIPPI. All right.
Let's spell it backwards.
Your mama. All right, so watch this. So before we went to break, I promised you that I would tell you, why are we having this conversation? Why did I ask Ken if he still has the black talk with his children? Well, because as you guys know, this is something that happened a minute ago, but it has happened over and over again. And in this story, about the 18-year-old woman from Arkansas, and I say woman lightly because she was just 18. Okay, her name was Elisa Hackett. She was pulled over for speeding. During the stop, body camera footage shows her repeatedly asking, "What did I do?" And quite naturally, the officer did not answer her. He just continued to escalate the encounter. The trooper took her to the ground and punched her in the what? In the face. The trooper later acknowledged in his report that he used a closed fist strike, saying it was to gain compliance. Now, here's how it was explained to me how the video went. This young lady had more of like a childlike voice. And she said to the officer, "What did I do?" And he wouldn't answer her, license and registration. She kept asking, "What did I do? Can you call my mommy?" Okay. And he just ignored that. And because she became terrified, she became, when you become scared, you're not going to go, okay, yeah, go ahead and handcuff me. You're going to be like, whoa, what are we doing? Where are you taking me? What are you doing? And that's when he decided to punch her, take her to the ground and punch her in the face. Right. So my question is, was she a young lady that may or may not have had the black talk? Did someone ever tell her or someone like her, like my son's birthday is today, he's 17, my 15-year-old son. Is it necessary for me to have a black talk? And how do you have that black talk with a group of people that feel like racism is over with? Because why? Because they have other cultural friends. They have social media connections. They see something different. They see racism as something that is old, something that just doesn't happen anymore. The things that we see with Trump and his cabinet and the things that we have identified are simply imagined. How can you have a black talk with an emerging adult that doesn't see it coming? How do you prepare them for moments like these?
That question is a very powerful question because a lot of life is based around this telephone, iPads, and a world of fantasy that's been created at such an accelerated pace. And so a lot of young people can be blind. I think that's one segment. I think another segment of us, because of this social media and the overexposure of certain scenarios, I think they're getting a dose of reality probably more intense than we see, because we're seeing so much of this with these body cams. It's really demystifying or not. It's taking people out of their cloud nine of just being punch drunk and looking for their dopamine shot. And that's what I call this, a dopamine shot.
He's holding up his phone. Yeah. I
and so the conversation still needs to be had, especially with your young brothers. And it's
and that horrifying. Was a woman, though.
Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
It is horrifying and devastating for me to see this on a continuum. But here's what I'm thinking, what I've concluded, and we'll let Kayla grab, because I know she has some answers. I think there's a part of this skinhead white supremacist ritual is to go and get black bodies and major black assaults. I think that's a part of their initiation point of entry to join some of these.
That sounds like gang affiliate. That sounds like gang initiation.
Well, Chicago police has always been considered gangs, at least by gangbangers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still of the notion. I don't say that blatantly because I have tons of friends who are police officers who are white shirts, and so I'm not going to make that declaration because it's stupid to make it. I have too many friends that I grew up with who are serving Illinois State and CPD. But I think it's really about creating a culture of expectations, of professionalism, to really serve and protect.
Mm-hmm.
The callers know more than I do, as much as I do, and Kayla has something to share with us as well.
Well, Kayla, I want to bring Kayla on because Kayla's one of our interns. She's our newsroom intern. Just last week, she filled in for Logan Page. She did a phenomenal job. And I'm pretty proud of her for that. But to learn just this morning or early afternoon that she was in a situation that mirrors what could have happened even when she got pulled over.
Really?
Kayla, welcome to the afternoon show.
What's good, Kayla?
Hi, LaDonna, and hi, Ken. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us. Can you walk us through the incident that took place when you were pulled over by the police?
Yes. So earlier this summer, I was in the car with my boyfriend. He was the one driving, and I was with him as he was doing some DoorDash orders. And we got pulled over, and two officers exited the car. One was an African-American man. The other one was a white man. And the white man came to my boyfriend's side. And immediately when my boyfriend rolled down the window, the officer said, "Oh, where's your weapon today?" And me and my boyfriend, we were kind of like, what? So right off then, I didn't have a good feeling. And then he continued to ask him again, "Where's your weapon?" And my boyfriend responded, "I don't have a weapon. I never had a weapon." And he was like, "Oh, okay, I guess you just forgot your weapon," kind of being passive aggressive. The other police officer on my side, he was trying to be friendly, trying to be nice to me because he saw that I was on a FaceTime call with my mother. And so I just had my phone facing up and I had my hands displayed on my lap so they could see, so I wasn't moving or anything like that. And my boyfriend, he requested to call his mother. And immediately the officer was like, well, why would you want to call your mother? Why do you need to call your mother? And he was like, I want to call her so I can get a screenshot of the insurance, because my boyfriend, he did not tell him, but the insurance was in the glove department, but my boyfriend did not feel comfortable reaching over my lap to get into the glove department because you know how that would have looked if he would have moved. And they were already assuming that he had a weapon. So his mom sent him the screenshot. He showed the screenshot to the officer. He tried to be more nice towards my boyfriend. Was like, oh, well, you know, just be careful when you're driving, but, you know, kind of still bringing up the weapon thing. And
was he trying to be nice because his mother was on the phone?
His mother wasn't on the phone, but I think he was just trying to somewhat de-escalate the situation now after he saw that, like, oh, actually, you do have insurance. You actually do have the papers. You do have your license and all of that. So he's trying to walk it back, still being passive aggressive. And then he kind of sent us on our way. But immediately after, me and my boyfriend, we kind of had to decompress because it was nerve-wracking because you get pulled over and you don't want to look at law enforcement in that way. But for the first question to be, where's your weapon? And for him to assume that he has a weapon. And again, my boyfriend, he is not Black, he is Hispanic. So.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother layer. he's Hispanic and he's with you. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother layer of how they can prejudge the situation. Kayla, I want to hear, I've got some more questions for you. Pianki, we see you waiting. And guys, if you want to call in and get on this conversation, please dial 773-591-1690. Yes, we're back up and running. But right now we're going to go to news, traffic, and weather with Logan Page, and we'll be right back.
Thank you, Ladagana. I'm Logan Page, and here it's happening in your local and national news. A Northwest Indiana judge is in trouble with the law. Justice Christopher Buckley was arrested on Saturday in Michigan City for operating while intoxicated. He is a superior judge in Porter County who is running for re-election. Buckley pleaded guilty in court yesterday. He has now suspended his campaign, and he'll get treatment for his challenges with alcohol. In other news, FAA investigating after 2 airplanes suffered tire damage at O'Hare. WVON's intern, Caleb Patton, has more.
An investigation is underway at O'Hare Airport after 2 commercial jets blew tires. It happened just 2 hours apart Monday afternoon. An American Airlines flight from New York's LaGuardia blew 2 tires while landing at O'Hare. All 180 people on board were fine. Then almost 5 hours later, a United flight from Omaha, Nebraska suffered tire damage after landing at O'Hare. All crew members and passengers were also safe. The Federal Aviation Administration is now investigating both landings. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, Median Strategies is shutting down after releasing erroneous polling data. The firm published polls showing Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and former Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong leading by wide margins in their respective races. The company says the previously released polls have been withdrawn and should not be cited. Median Strategies described the effort as a short-term social experiment, examining how unverified polling information can spread through the political information system. And Sasha Obama and Megan Thee Stallion were reportedly spotted together at Sandbar and Grill on Martha's Vineyard. The sighting came days after Michelle Obama said on her IMO podcast that Megan's personality reminded her of Sasha. The Grill reports that her source described the two as looking like besties, though neither has publicly characterized their relationship that way. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talk. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, WVON TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. WVON TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast, top salon owners pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap in, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
You never know who's going to stop by WVON.
Craig Hodges on the line with us. Craig, thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank God for us getting a chance to talk across airways, brother.
Tim Hardaway on the live line with us.
Love coming back home to Chicago.
Alonzo Mourning, legendary NBA ball player. Welcome to WVON.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for having me.
We are the talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Wishing you safe travels. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 31 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 5-minute delay, 20 minutes. Bishop Ward, Ryan's I-80, 94. Stop and go traffic 22 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive. To the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 39 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfville Post Office. Stop and go traffic 37 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. Stop and go traffic 50 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing 16 minutes. Your weather for 2 days, Chicago. Nighttime storms possible, high of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, straight showers, high of 79 and a low of 66. In our city, it's currently 78 degrees and cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON, 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Don't let it go to your head, no. Don't let it go to your head, no, no, no. Now you know I can't live without you.
I love it. Ooh. Don't let it go to your head, Ken.
To your head, no.
Too late, too late. Welcome back. I had no one to banter with.
No.
I love it. Oh, you can sing a little bit.
My father was a vocalist.
See, you never told me that. I'd love to talk about it.
Professionally.
Actually, I have a surprise for you. I don't think
Really?
it's gonna be today though.
Oh,
But it's gonna be soon. You're gonna love it.
you hear that, doctor?
Yeah.
So look, I want to finish hearing this Kayla story.
Hold on, no.
Then I want to hear from Doctor. I'm gonna tell him about his grandmama.
No. Kayla, I had a question for her, very specific. Kayla, I gotta ask you this question. Did your parents ever give you the black talk? Because Ken said he didn't really have to give it to his kids. I gave it to my kids. My mother gave it to me. Did your mother ever have the black talk with you?
Actually, LaDonna, now that I think about it, no, we never really, neither one of my parents really had that talk with me, but I think I just knew. I think I just would see and hear a lot of different things about being Black and what it's like being Black growing up, and especially encountering with police and the different experiences that other people would have. And I would just see it and I would know. So we never really had a formal sit down talk. I just could see and observe everything around me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but some of that though, that's what I'm gonna say to Black youth. Don't shrink yourself for nobody. Your haters, white, black, brown, big, fat, ugly, and tall. Don't shrink. Be yourself. And see, that type of psychology really stunts growth, and it creates unnecessary prejudices. Because it's no secret. I got tons of white friends.
You sound like them when they say they got black friends.
I'm serious. Literally, some of my best friends are white.
Oh boy,
and
you sound like them.
But as you might imagine, I represented downtown Chicago, Old Town, Rush Street area, Chinatown, Cabrini Green, Robert Taylor Stateway, etc. Bronzeville, where I live, and South Shore. So the reality is, we're blessed to be in Chicago, to have a different perspective, a cosmopolitan perspective. But when you
in the most segregated city in the country,
okay, and so if you and we're compartmentalized to the core, and social, economically, absolutely. But I think it's incumbent upon us to really get to defy that notion of an antiquated, ugly human being spirit, whether they have a uniform on or a doctor's robe. When you do that, you really de-emphasize your potential for excellence, to be a free thinker. That's why we came up with so many innovative ways as a people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Well, let's get to these callers. I tell you, they got some ways to think about it as well. Let's go to Pianki. Hey, Pianki.
Pianki.
Yes.
What's good?
Why don't we have teaching with your children in school? For instance, the Red Cross will come out and teach a class on CPR. Police officers will come out and teach your children in your school on how to act at traffic stops.
Did Officer Friendly do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either. Officer Friendly was more so about building relationships between the children and the officers, and becoming one. I don't recall that other thing.
In the coloring book.
Right.
My parents, you can tell me don't talk about other people that's talking to. So be careful, don't do that. Okay. Another thing, have your docs in a bag and ready to hand over.
Okay.
Handle a child. How to handle a child who has swallowed an object in a restaurant and can't breathe, and don't have court and street. And we know that's it's not just blacks that have these problems. Whites have them too. And I'm going to tell you something, LaDonna. You got a beautiful skin color. Go to Nigeria and go through one of them check stops on the road. They treat you just like anybody else. I mean, that's just human beings. That's the way things doing. But I'm serious about bringing in people to teach these things to your children. Teach you like CPR. You can save a life and don't have court on the street.
I heard that.
Wait, Pianki. Thank you for the compliment. All right, let's go ahead and take our next caller.
The compliment he gave you. Don't let it go to your head. No.
I just, it was nice hearing a compliment from Pianki because, he goes in hard. Let's go to Ron.
And don't interrupt him again.
I know, right? I was speaking of which. Hey, Ron, hold on one second. I was listening to the show last week. I didn't like it. I didn't like several of them. I talked over you so much.
Yeah, I almost picked up something and bust you upside the head.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't have done that. But yeah, I was listening. I was like, what the? Oh my goodness. But I could feel the passion, right? So I'm working on it today. Let's see how long it lasts. Yeah, let's.
So you want to get put in a headlock?
I wish you would.
Come on.
Remember, I had 4 brothers.
And
all right,
I
Ron.
had 3.
3 brothers.
Sisters.
Anyway, I had 4 brothers and raised 4 boys. Hey, Ron, you're live on WVON. Thank you, sir.
What's up, brother Ron?
You and everybody involved. But the young lady, what she should have should have got badge numbers. And that first coming out of his mouth, you left your gun at home, he should have went right to the station. After he got that, he made a complaint. Because that's not a traffic stop.
Right.
He was trying to provoke that guy into doing something. And before they pull you over, they run your plate. They know everything about that car.
Yes.
And who it belonged to. So that's just to get you scared to do something. So they have a reason. But being smart, don't say nothing. Do what they ask you to do. And then get their badge numbers, go right down to the station and file a complaint.
Okay.
Hey, Ron, let me ask this here. You would think that that's standard procedure. If I'm pulling you over, I'm going to run your place like automatically.
Well, they know already.
So is that standard? Is a dumb question, but needs an answer. Isn't that standard across all districts? Isn't that a state requirement?
Okay. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, I was coming from a family event this weekend, right? I was driving through Berlin, right? I turned, the Berlin police followed me from 22nd to 12th Avenue. I knew he was behind me. I didn't panic. I knew he was behind me. He was just there. Every stop sign I stopped at, 2 seconds or more, he was right there.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to Roseville, because he knew where I was going. He knew I was going to another suburb, and he veered off to the left, and I turned right. But I knew he was behind me. He was just looking for a reason to pull me over because I was profiled in a 2026 driving through Berwyn, dark color SUV. And I knew it, but I wasn't worried about it because everything was in order. And I would have went right to the station, filed a complaint, and then let the attorney handle it. But I'm not going to say nothing to you to have me out to land on the concrete at midnight. But that's the end of the story, folks.
Thank you, Ron.
She should have got the number of both of those officers and went down to that police station and filed a complaint. They'll deal with it.
Thank you, Ron. You know something? Maybe
Excellent
we should
point.
add that to the Black Talk. I think the Black Talk we do.
Ron is spot on with that.
Is keep your hands, in plain view. Keep your voice down. We do those basics, but maybe we need to learn the next steps as well as parents so that we can transfer that over to our children.
Did Kayla do that?
Yeah, Kayla, did you even think about grabbing a badge number, or were you just glad it was over?
I was glad it was over.
Yeah.
Because also I couldn't see for the officer that was standing at my boyfriend's window. I couldn't see his badge number.
It's no secret. You can ask for the badge number.
Yeah.
They have to give it to you.
Who was driving Kayla?
Her boyfriend.
My boyfriend.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Let's go to Art real quick. Hey, Art, you are live on WVON.
Hey, what's going on? I'm glad she's on. The first question is the person whose car is registered, is his parent or whose car registered, are they concealed carrying? That's maybe the reason that the officer asked that question. That's a normal question. I drive a truck and the police follow me, and it don't bother me none. It just don't bother me because if they trying to pull you over, not because you're black, because they trying to make money and do whatever they do, it is what it is. But the problem I do find different is I got 3 sons and a daughter. I never talked to my children and told them, and I lived in the city of Chicago, Harvard, and all of the different places, and say, here's the Black Talk, you get pulled over. The talk I give them, respect those in authority. If they disrespect you, you still respect them. And when you get home or wherever you're going, and if you feel strongly about something, then we take further action. It's just that simple, whether it be black, green, yellow, purple, because the young lady said there was a black officer on the other side, and he was Latino, so it couldn't have been a racial thing. That just maybe how he starts off when he pulls over. Hey, you got a gun? I mean, they do stuff like that, in general. So I don't think it has anything to do really. We got to get past this race stuff all the time. And you just got police officers that just may be an ass, whether male, whether black, white, green. And if it was about that, the black officers should have stood up and say, hey, man, what you doing? Don't start no trouble,
Well, Art, let me ask you this before we go to break. Sure. The lady that got punched in the face because she was scared as hell at 18 years old, punched by a white officer, was that not a color thing, or he should have just punched her in the face?
No, well, he should have never put his hands on her to perform any form of act of violence to her in general. But the question is, why are you scared because the police pull you over?
I'm asking why. I'm asking at 18 years old, if you've never been pulled over by the police and you've seen what happened to George Floyd, you've seen what happened to Laquan McDonald, you've seen what happened to Breonna Taylor, and the list goes on. And then you get pulled over because of all those things that you've seen, and now you're afraid for your life.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
Okay,
All right.
hold on, real quick. Let me say this real quick. I'm going to reverse that then. Okay. You're correct, LaDonna Ray. Now let me flip that same thing. I'm black. I'm driving. I see all these teenagers with dreads running around with masks on. And these are all the things that I saw. Carjacking by black people. I saw this 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 all by my own black people. How should I act then? So if we're going to use that, then we have to use it in both ways. because the officer feels the exact same way you may feel when he pulls over anybody in the car, because somebody can just pull a gun out and shoot you.
Right.
They ain't got to say nothing to you because he's putting himself immediately in danger. That's not to justify any behavior, but if you go with that premise, young lady, that means every time I see a black person and I'm black, based on what the news show me, then I should have the same reaction. I leave with that.
I'll say this.
In the black family.
I love the way you conclude.
An 18-year-old.
So I think
Ron, it has nothing to do with
you're coming from a mature man's perspective. He's very mature of life.
Yeah.
And so if you're at a certain age, you just ain't experienced what you are, myself, and LaDonna have experienced. That gives us a different confidence or buoyancy of perspective, just sort of what to expect.
18 years old.
So, and I've learned to do that because when I was 20, I was different than when I was your age, Donna.
Yeah.
Well, I'm almost your age, but
keep it up. And I'm gonna go back to
I'm not that
interrupting
old.
you. That's it.
Oh,
I'm
go
back.
ahead.
I'm back.
I
All
told
right,
you I got
guys.
something
We're
for
going
you.
to break. Lunch. We're going to traffic and weather.
You're out to lunch.
Woo. My sons are here today. They will whoop your. We'll be right back, y'all.
You better tell your sons to back it up.
We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, are you ready? Chicago Public Schools are back in session Monday, August 24th. It's time to get the backpacks ready, sharpen those pencils, set those alarms, and get 300,000 students ready for another year of learning, growth, and possibility. To every CPS student, parent, teacher, and school leader, we're cheering you on because education is the great equalizer. It's the pathway from opportunity to possibility. Let's start this school year strong. Chicago Public Schools back to school Monday, August 24th. WVON cares.
Shop small with Wintrust Bank and celebrate the heart of our community, our local businesses. Listen as we share a list of small businesses throughout our community that we can shop, dine, and support throughout the year. These businesses are the economic engine that drives our neighborhoods. Wintrust knows that. That's why they're Chicago's bank and why they're encouraging you to shop local. Keep listening for the Wintrust Community Business Spotlight campaign. With Wintrust, shopping small is a big deal.
This August, renew your spirit only on WVON TV. Watch Behind Our Walls, a powerful documentary following incarcerated men pursuing a college education through the Calvin Prison Initiative. It's an inspiring story of determination, redemption, and the transformative power of second chances.
There's a lot of bad things that happen in prison. It's a dark place. You have all the time in the world. So you can either become a better human being or you become a worse human being. And the choice is yours.
Then spend time with Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and friends. Uplifting conversations about wellness, self-care, resilience, and living with intention. August on WVON TV offers stories that stay with you long after they're over. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at WVON.tv. WVON TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This report is brought to you by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 33 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 1 minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ward, Ryan's I-80, 94, stop and go traffic, 21 minutes. Stevenson to Sawbolt Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 36 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office, stop and go traffic, 36 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 49 minutes. And Edens, Montrose Lake, Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago, night storms possible, I-82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, straight showers, I-79 and a low of 66 in our city. It's currently 78 degrees and cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update. I'm Logan Page, The Talk Chicago, WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I want to dance with somebody, I tell you. All right, welcome back.
Don't know what dance with somebody.
You know, it's so funny. You said, wow, I saw how you lit up when I walked in, and I was happy to see you. But then that mouth.
Yes.
Open that mouth and it's just all changed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I tell you what, I love it when you have your perspective, and we love it when Kayla has her perspective. She being a intern here at WVON, doing a very good job getting to know the climate of this particular station, this media company. So, Kayla, you are awesome and amazing. You got the phones lit up, Miss Kayla. I just want you to tell you that's you right there. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab
Special Kayla.
Yeah, I like that. We're gonna grab Bernard. There's a lot of comments out there too. I'm gonna read those. Bernard, welcome to WVON.
Good day, LaDonna, and to your guest, if you can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you know what? It burns me up when I hear Negroes saying it's not about race. Everything in this country is about race. Now, let me ask you a question, and you already know the answer. If a big burly black police officer pulled over a little fragile white girl, and she actually called her mother, and then when he proceeded to handcuff her, he proceeded to punch her in the face. They got a call from President Donald Trump or somebody in his administration to fire and prosecute that guy. So let's quit with the BS. Now, as far as I was born in 59, and I had 3 other brothers under me. My mother never had the black talk with us, but we already knew what the deal was. I grew up in Maywood. Anytime we would ride our bikes through Melrose Park or predominantly white neighborhood at that time, we would always get chased, being called the N-word. I mean, it was fun with us at the time being chased, because they never would catch us. But, I remember that. And as far as I'm so disappointed in us in our legal lawyers. Anytime that a black person is hanged, there's been an epidemic of that happening now. It's always perceived as a suicide 3 seconds after they find the body. Mm-hmm. And if we know the history of us being lynched, and for us to just let this go without trying to get some federal laws relegating that, anytime that happens, it's taken out of the state hand, and it's a federal charge, and that Billie Holiday song, that Strange Fruit, that needs to be played in rotation with on all the black radio stations, in my opinion.
Well, all the radio stations in general, Bernard. So Bernard, so I'm sure you were referring to art, because my thing is,
well, whatever Negro, art, Chianti. Sometimes I can agree with
you. Said whatever Negro.
Anytime I hear a Negro saying, I want to say something else. Saying it's not about race. You know good and damn well if a white officer had touched a little frail white girl in the face, he would have been outraged with that.
Wow, it's essentially how we in our mind psychologically we look at white women as frail. Do you know who? Do you, right?
That's the point I'm making. We all know.
I get your point. I get it. Yeah, the reality is. So here's the statute that I would pass statewide, and I would pass it nationally. Every officer who has certain amounts of violations can never get a job any damn where in the country.
That's right.
There needs to be a universal database.
What about all the all the white supremacist officers that's on the payroll, and Brandon Johnson was supposed to do something about that? We ain't heard nothing about it.
Hey, look.
They already identified the ones that was connected to white supremacists.
I remember that.
Nothing. We haven't heard a damn thing.
All right, thank you very much. All right,
when he comes on Matt's show, because he won't come on my show.
No, he's on this show. He can't.
No, I'm talking about Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Oh, Mayor Brandon.
And I would love for him to come on. Just ask him grown-up political questions.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to Tony and see what's happening. Hey, Tony, you're live on WVON.
Yes, my opinion is a lot of it is about race. A lot of it is targeted toward color. However, I have to say, in retrospect, some of us give people a reason to act that way. we are.
What do you mean with that, Tony?
I mean, I've seen several times where you're asked to do something and you're combative. I understand the fear, but we have to we have to try to diffuse a situation before it starts.
Okay, when you say we, who needs to do that? Because the police is the person with the gun and the stun gun and the taser and the weight and the body armor.
Like I've been arrested before. Okay, traffic ticket. When I tell you what I went through as for my traffic ticket, you would have thought that I shot 17 people. It was in Indiana. It was in a very racist part of Indiana. I didn't react. I didn't do anything. However, like I said, there are people who do react before. It starts off calm.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your situation. If you're comfortable enough to share, how did it escalate?
It's like 5 o'clock.
So I was in. This was
at the top of the hour. Sorry, Tony.
So let's give I want to hear the nutshell version. Come on, Tony. Give it to us in 30 seconds or less.
Hold
on,
I
have
to put her on hold. It was in 2001. I had a flat tie. I was coming from court for a seatbelt ticket.
Okay, Tony, do this here. Hold on.
Isn't that what I said?
We gonna come black.
Excuse me, Tony.
Let me
please
mansplain this to
hold.
LaDonna.
Brother Chris, Roy, Sal, Calvin, and Kayla.
I still want to hear from Tony.
Look, you're not gonna
With an
bully
eye.
me on this afternoon
Too late.
show. No, it ain't too. You know what? You showing out today. We're gonna mute your mic in a minute. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Summertime Shy. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Ford City Mall redevelopment moves forward. Sky face Liberty tonight, and WNBA action. Federal judge clears path for Trump administration to halt deportation protections. And Serena Williams and Venus Williams reunite in Cincinnati Open. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
It's BIN News now. Some Southside residents are speaking out against a proposed data center redevelopment at the former Southworks steel plant site. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
If they were to do that, they would be strictly bound to the executive order that I have put forth to provide stronger regulations.
Opponents say they have concerns about the project's impact on the surrounding community. Netflix is seeking to dismiss Tyra Banks' defamation lawsuit over its America's Next Top Model documentary. Banks claims the film created a misleading portrayal of her role on the show, while Netflix says it stands by the documentary and plans to vigorously defend it in court. And Colin Kaepernick is marking nearly a decade since his protest against police brutality by committing $1 million to community organizations through his Know Your Rights camp. The initiative will fund education, legal rights, mental health, and youth programs in Black and Brown communities. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Back to Terry McCready.
3 U.S. states are holding primaries today, while California is holding a special U.S. House election. Races for the House, Senate, and governor are being held in Alaska, Wyoming, and Florida, where a crowded field of GOP candidates, including Black Representative Byron Donalds, is hoping to replace term-limited Governor Ron DeSantis. Several Democrats are also running. In California, 2 Democrats emerged from the June primary to see who will serve out the remainder of former Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell's term. Swalwell resigned after he was accused of sexual assault. Meanwhile, in Florida, Black progressive House candidate Elijah Manley is blasting Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz for attempting to dilute Black representation by running in a newly drawn South Florida district where she faces 4 Black candidates.
Yes, she has seniority and she's been an ally in many ways, but she should run in the 22nd district where she lives, where she could have helped pick up a seat for the Democratic Party in the midterms to add to our majority. But my lived experience as someone who grew up after the 2008 financial crisis and homelessness, we lost everything. That lived experience is so important in the district right now.
27-year-old Manley on NBC News. He says the former Democratic National Committee chairwoman's decision to seek re-election in Florida's redrawn 20th congressional district is cynical. President Trump is defending his directive to the Pentagon to scale back joint military exercises with South Korea. Trump telling reporters yesterday he had spoken with South Korea's president about getting a hand with Iran and was turned down.
When I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help with Iran, but if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no, thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un.
Trump said he was disappointed with the response given the U.S. has 39,000 troops stationed there guarding against any attack from North Korea. Trump said the U.S. cannot go around and protect all of the countries, especially when they are not around to help us. An attempt to address California's housing shortage is back on the November ballot. Proposition 1 asks California voters to approve borrowing over $11 billion for affordable housing. The plan includes just over $1 billion for veterans loans. Most funding comes from state bonds repaid by taxpayers. Supporters say thousands of housing units are ready to move forward but need funding. Opponents argue borrowing more won't fix the crisis and could cause long-standing unexpected costs for taxpayers. According to the state, the total cost could reach nearly $17.5 billion over 3 decades. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Activists Incorporated, in partnership with 3rd Ward Alderman Pat Dow, State Senator Maddie Hunter, and State Representative Kimberly Dupuy-Clay, presents the free back-to-school haircuts and hairstyles event on Sunday, August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. with music provided by Power 92's own DJ Nathis. Kids ages 5 to 17 can receive free haircuts, hairstyles, backpacks, and school supplies while supplies last at participating locations. Another barbershop, 843 East 47th Street, House of Heteros, 251 West 95th Street, Hair Experts Barber College, 216 East 47th Street, Hair Experts, 5401 South Wentworth, Studio B Barber Salon, 2113 South Pulaski Avenue, RV Barbershop Bronx Cuts, 15306 Page Avenue, Bronzeville Barber and Beauty Salon, 122 East 35th Street, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Services for boys and girls are available at select locations. For more info, call Activists at 312-766-7145. Supported by the Sisterhood and Grand Boulevard Prevention Services.
It's Rufus Williams.
The radio keeps our ear to the pavement so we know what's going on in the community. And I got to say, what and how you've been doing it as my frat brother, but more importantly, what VON does, you are the new Ebony Jet that keeps our community connected.
Well, thanks. That's a huge compliment.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com. Grinding and squealing are signs it's time for new brakes. Skip the hassle of searching for the right parts and shop RockAuto.com. Find trusted name brand parts at lower prices and have them shipped directly to your door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Like a baby, since your disguise, I can't help but love you. It's getting better.
All right, welcome back. It's the afternoon show. Yes. And you are listening to Dr. LaDonna Ray and, of course, former state rep Ken Duncan. Kayla, you done started something. You told us that story. We have Kayla, our intern, on, and she told us about the time she was pulled over, and the police assumed that her boyfriend, who was driving, had a weapon. But you know what? Was that who was that made that comment? that said maybe the plates were registered. Was the car registered in his mom's name?
No, it's not. It's registered in his name, and he's not. He
A
doesn't have
concealed carry.
Doesn't have a concealed carry.
Okay, so he was just being a jerk about it. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, I really appreciate you opening up with that conversation and telling us your experience. And you know what? I'm sorry that happened to you. What would you say was your takeaway? What did you learn from that?
I think as I've been sitting here listening to the callers, and I can agree that it's not good to have an outlook of thinking that law enforcement or people of different races, they're all out to get us. I do agree with that. However, I have to say, when you're getting pulled over, there is already high tension there. There are already nerves there. And I think for me personally, in that experience, it was just the opening of the comment, do you have a gun and where is your weapon? That automatically had my heart sinking to the bottom of my feet and made it all the more just nerve wracking. But what I can say is that I learned is, like everybody else has been saying, you do want to be compliant. You do want to be as respectful as possible. But to just be honest, and we're all human, we do have fear that arises. And if you're a type of person who has a fight response, that's going to be triggered, or you have a flight response. And immediately for me and my boyfriend, we shut down. And so I think just for me, I just took it into life and just be respectful. Just do what the officers are telling you to do, even if you do have fear that is spiking. I don't know, you just have to go through it and be okay, and thank God that both of us are okay and it's not caused any trauma or anything in my life. However, unfortunately, this is a real thing that we do experience, not only being Black, but also being brown. I think we have to take that into account with everything that has been going on in our world and our society.
And Kayla, I want to add, get that badge number. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get the badge number. Even if you can't see it, you don't have to sneak and get it. You can actually ask for it. You can say, all right, officer, thank you so much. What's your badge number, by the way? And you write that mug down and you get his name, and you can still be nice about it. You don't have to turn in Karen and say, give me your badge number. You don't know. We don't have that same privilege, but definitely you want to get that badge number. And I like what the caller said, get it and report it if you feel like you were violated in any kind of way. Thank you so much, Kayla, for unpacking this conversation and helping us navigate through what you had been through. You're amazing.
Kayla.
Of course. Thank you so much. And Ken, I hear the vocals. Keep singing, in between the breaks. It was making me feel joyous.
All right,
well, yeah.
When you get in, we'll sing something.
Lord Jesus, the encouragement is real.
Lord, forgive me.
Hey, we see some callers out there. I want to go ahead and just grab Roy. He's been holding for a while. So, Roy, I want to take that into account and appreciate you for holding. What you got on the conversation?
Okay, well, the wait time doesn't matter to me. I'm a mellow fellow. Now, if you look at the tape with the young lady that got punched, all of these media entities, they start playing her tape when she on the back on the trunk. See what I'm saying?
No.
Right when he's trying to cuff her and then get her down and all this. Nah, he had punched her in the face. No, that was wrong. But see, all these sources don't show what happened before then. See, I saw what happened before then. Now, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. The young lady could have just went to the crib. You dig? Because the initial thing was, we see open alcohol. Okay, you're too young to purchase it. I'll tell you what. Your license plates are going to be suspended. You just sign this on the clipboard, and you take this to court. Then you deal with it from there. You can go home. She smacked the clipboard. I said, I ain't signing nothing.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? Hold on.
I don't have
look at the whole clip. Watch the whole clip. Don't start it when he's kind of handcuffed on the trunk. Look at the whole clip when he's standing on the passenger side of the vehicle, clipboard in hand, telling her all she got to do is just sign this. It's going to temporarily suspend her license plate, and you go to court, and they figure things out there.
Well,
you are kidding me.
About.
We got to look that up. And see, that's why we got to be very conscientious.
And I do want to.
I have no reason to lie.
No. I'm not saying you do, but Roy, I will tell you this: the conversation, Roy, the conversation started off with some incidents that happened, and are we supposed to continue to have the black talk with our children? The video is simply a microcosm of what has been going on, regardless of how it ended up. But but see, that's part of how I finish
too.
How I talk to but that's a part of talking to your children about how to behave and how to comply when you're being pulled over by authorities. So I wouldn't it all stems from, is the black talk still necessary? And how do you handle presenting the black talk to children or young people that don't think that racism exists? And even aside from racism, I would like to finish.
Yeah.
Aside from racism, how do you comply whenever you're in a certain situation as law enforcement, period?
And so let me say this here. And we got to be honest with each other. We got some ignorant ass black teenagers out here, male and female, and they have to make sure that they set the tone for how they want to be treated as well. They can't get no damn passes as some of them.
Nobody said anything
as some of them are getting or expected.
See, once again, we're getting away from the very initial conversation. It was having the conversation with your children and young people about how to conduct themselves when they are in the presence of X. Okay, I'm not gonna go to court in a bonnet. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be driving around with open alcohol and then get pulled over and have an attitude. I'm not gonna do those things because I have had the conversation.
Yeah, we get that.
With my parent. No, it's not. We get that.
No, we supposed to get that.
Some people don't get that.
Well, you don't. I bet you didn't act like that when you were younger.
You don't know how I acted.
That's true, but I know you know. Today I'm gonna let Ron finish because there's a culture of disrespect for young kids out here.
All right, let's go ahead.
Why you hang up on
them? And thanks for pointing that out. Because now we have to get to the next caller. Yeah, I apologize, but I have to keep it going because we have an in-studio
I want him
guest.
to respond.
There was no response. He was talking about the video.
And which was a key point in terms of, to your point, of them not knowing how the hell to conduct themselves.
Here's how we make each other look crazy, right? If we don't, it's not a matter of watching the video from A to Z unless that's the premise of the conversation. It's not the premise.
What are you talking about?
It's like going to talking about George Floyd's situation and saying, okay, it started with a counterfeit $20 bill and he was this and that. No, it is the act of talking to your young people about how to conduct themselves. So if
these damn kids ain't out of pocket out here either.
Who's acting like anything? My kids are across the hall. Okay.
Most parents do right by their kids.
My point.
And most kids do right by their parents.
My point is having the conversation with your out-of-pocket ass kids or with your not out-of-pocket ass kids. It doesn't matter. Having the conversation no matter what type of kids you have. Young people need to have this conversation. How to conduct yourself in front of X. Period. That is not happening. It can't be. All right. I'm going to grab this last caller. No, I don't want to say last caller because a lot of you are waiting. We're going to put you in. Look at the calls. And we're going to get to our in-studio guest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my man with the White Sox.
But before we get to our callers.
He probably just turned into a White Sox fan a couple of months ago when they got in first place.
Look.
I don't know.
We'll be right back after traffic and weather. Lord, have mercy. I tell you what, I hope the weather and the traffic is greater than this back and forth conversation we're having. We'll be right back. And callers, we see you. We'll be back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, are you ready to ride through art, culture, and pure Bronzeville magic? The Bronzeville Art District Trolley Tour is back every third Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Hop aboard our double-decker trolley buses for a night of art, community, and unforgettable vibes. For powerful exhibits at Blanc Gallery to creative expressions at the Bronzeville Art Lofts to cultural treasures at Fay African Art and the soul-stirring brilliance of Gallery Gashard. Each stop is a whole experience. This is not just a tour, it's a moving celebration of Bronzeville's heartbeat. Meet the artist, feel the rhythm, Bring your friends. Bring your energy. June 19th, July 17th, August 21st, and September 18th. Every third Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. And it's free to ride the Bronzeville Art District Trolley Tour. 20 years strong and still rolling. Tap in for the culture. Tap in for the ride. RSVP now at Eventbrite and search the Bronzeville Art District Trolley Tour 2026. See you there.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies Money Talk. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
Coming to Wind Creek Casino and Hotel for one night only, it's the Terry Hunter Live Music Experience, presented by Dion Cole. For the first time ever, the music that has defined Terry Hunter's legendary career comes to life with a full live band, incredible vocalists, and an unforgettable production. Get your tickets for the August 29th show now at windcreek.com/Terry Hunter. It's only at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your outfits, grab your crew, and get on board with the Me Plus 3 special starting at $1,000 per person. This time, join the Foundation Fantastic Voyage 2025 cruise will be fun, entertaining, and this will be a once-in-a-lifetime event with seminars, fitness workouts, parades, concerts, and much more starting at $1,000. Call 214-495-1963 to book your Me Plus 3 cabin. Prices are based on 4 passengers in the cabin, so book today while they last and before cabins are sold out.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
This report is brought to you by the Blizzard Double Flip Deal at Dairy Queen. The only thing better than grabbing a Blizzard treat on a warm sunny day will be snagging a second one for just 99 cents with the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents. Only when you order in the DQ app. DQ. Happy tastes good. For a limited time at participating U.S. locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, 27 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80. There is an accident reported. I-57 between 115th Street and 103rd Street, 19 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow go, 18 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, slow go, 38 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfton Post Office, stop and go traffic, and please be cautious. There is an accident on the right shoulder, Eisenhower before Des Plaines Avenue, 36 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 42 minutes. And Eden's, Munchos Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 16 minutes. Your weather for Tuesday, Chicago. Nighttime storms possible, high of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, straight showers, high of 79 and a low of 66. In our city, it's currently 78 degrees and cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON, 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Don't be confused.
All right, we're back. I tell you what, there's a few things we want to tell you guys real quick. We got Vaughn TV. If you go to Vaughn TV, you'll be able to see Mama I Made It, Chicago's own Lisa Ray McCoy. Oh, actually, well, you can see that. Samantha Chapman has a brand new episode out called Mama I Made It, and she has interviewed Lisa Ray McCoy. And you can watch it on Vaughn TV, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV, the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Also, we want to invite you guys to feed your mind, renew your spirit, and watch Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and friends. This is two powerful documentaries. One is called Wronged, the Maurice Carter story, and Behind Our Walls, exploring justice, resilience, and the power of second chances. Watch anytime on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or on Vaughn TV. I told you about that. Then, of course, the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Make sure you go to our website. You can click on Rufus's ear, nose, eye, and it'll take
Can you
right
imagine
to the travel
driving
club.
with Rufus in the car for 4 hours?
Well, we've had that conversation before, and I told you it would be dead silence. All right. So WVON is on the road again.
What?
And this time we're taking you to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. The Rufus Williams Travel Club, and it's in partnership with the Advantage International, Charleston isn't just another trip. You know, it's a cultural experience. They're taking you from the roots of Gullah Geechee heritage to the International African American Museum. There's going to be food, history, waterfront views. All of this stuff is so different than what you've ever experienced before, and space is limited. So make sure you lock your spot in now. Go to WVON.com and click on Rufus Williams
That's
Travel
gonna be a
Club
cool trip.
banner.
Charleston is a beautiful city. Lots of great history, lots of great American and Black history. That's what slavery, the Confederate, that was their headquarters.
Is there a black talk when you go on a trip? Do you have to have a black talk?
The black talk is protect your derriere, watch your money. If she's paying that much attention to you,
yeah,
and you're a certain age,
that's right.
And you can't pull that type of woman or man.
Yeah, that's on any trip.
When you are back in your home city, it ain't true.
Oh, wow. You speak from experience. All right.
Ouch.
We got
Hold on.
We have
Who's
an
in the studio with us?
Because if you don't mind,
he ain't co-signing for me on nothing with.
Yeah. You know what?
I like that. I accuse him of being a White Sox fan all of a sudden the last couple of months.
Well, I was going to ask you this: are you a White Sox fan or a Cubs fan?
I am a Chicago fan.
So Chicago Cubs or Chicago White Sox?
Tomato.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm asking you, Chicago, if you could put it in the chat on Facebook Live. If you are a Chicago fan of Chicago White Sox or Chicago fan of Chicago Cubs, let us know. We want to hear from you. Also, I know those of you that are holding, you still got comments. I get it. We're going to swing you in. I promise you. No pun intended. But I was having a conversation earlier and I was thinking about this. Like, for instance, there is a shortage of Black people playing in baseball, right?
Absolutely.
You take a look at the numbers, the rosters, and they don't look like us.
No.
And in studio, we have Glenn Richardson, our very own Glenn Richardson of WVON.
Yeah, I listen to this brother on the radio.
Yes, can be heard on Sundays to talk about sports. Then what's the name of your show?
Well, right now we're in a pause. So
you're pausing.
Yeah.
Is it a pregnated pause or just a regular pause?
It's just a regular pause.
Okay. So I need to listen to you, man, so I can start betting betting on the right team to win.
Right.
Well, listen, that works several ways right now because the Cubs and White Sox are winning.
Right.
So just depends on who you want.
Right. I like them both.
Well, me, I'm in agreement with the Pope right now.
And who does he?
Oh my goodness!
I thought everybody knew that the Pope was a honorable White Sox fan.
Okay.
Where you been?
So that's why Melody took him a
White Sox.
hat. I get it. Okay. Well, I tell you what, the Crosstown Classics always divide Chicago. You're either a Cubs or Sox fan, but today we're asking a question that should unite all of us. We are all, should I say, where are our Black boys in baseball? Like, I got boys. One only played baseball for a short period of time. And there was a time when baseball diamonds across Chicago were filled with young Black athletes dreaming of becoming the next Ernie Banks, Ken Griffey Jr., or Frank Thomas. Today, many of those same kids are choosing basketball or football long before they reach high school. Is it about cost though? Because I looked that up. It costs more. It seems to cost more, according to Google. It costs more to train in baseball than it does in any other sport.
Well, I think what Google is referring to is that you're going to need a glove, and gloves are expensive. The baseballs are expensive. The bats are expensive. And when you complete the team, it's never going to amount to what the cost is of football, because football needs shoulder pads, helmets, knee pads, cleats, the rest of it. But in baseball, you're going to need to help you develop, you're going to need a pitcher, and in most cases, a catcher. So
in most cases,
yeah, because I grew up playing against the wall. So we played strikeout up against the wall, and obviously that was our back catcher.
Yeah,
and so those days were real important days because we dominated baseball in that era. And it was one of the reasons was that we got live at bats up against the wall. So in today's world, it's a little bit different, mainly because of the expense part of it. Then some of it is because of opportunity. So opportunities vary depending on where you are. If you're in high school, you normally get a fair opportunity. If you're in college, the opportunity ain't as fair as high school. And certainly if you're in minor league baseball. Minor league, they got 4 tiers. They got rookie ball, A ball, double A, triple A. Those are roadblocks to stop you if they want to stop you from getting to the big leagues. And so what they use in their favor is that he couldn't do this, or he wasn't coachable, or he wasn't this particular person. There's always a roadblock anytime they want a roadblock to be there.
Wait a minute. I never knew, just real quick, I never knew there were 4 levels in minor league. And I kicked it with my boy on, played with the Phillies, played with the Cubs, New York Yankees.
Yeah, well, that's just another roadblock, like I said, mainly because they want to take the few that they want. It's a long time away from when Jackie Robinson changed the face of baseball and then made it look like it was truly fair, which it never was. Because at the time that Jackie came aboard, he was nowhere near the best player.
Yeah, and I've heard that forever.
Well, I tell you what, I got to jump in because we're supposed to go to break, but joining us, but I just want to introduce him before we do so. Joining us on the live line is someone who doesn't have to imagine the journey. He lived it. Former Chicago White Sox center fielder Lance Johnson, one of the fastest players of his era, is here to talk about what he sees happening to the game and what it will take to bring more Black boys to the baseball diamond. Welcome to the show, I should say. I was going to say, welcome to the diamond.
Thanks for having me, everybody. It's a pleasure.
Of course. Thank you so much. Guys, hang tight. We're going to go to news, traffic, and weather so we can have time on the other side right here on the afternoon show.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. A developer is seeking to replace the closed Ford City Mall on Chicago's southwest side with an industrial campus. Curve Industrial is proposing 4 buildings for warehousing or light manufacturing on the nearly 60-acre site. The $150 million project is expected to create at least 400 permanent jobs and would include about 913,000 square feet of industrial space. The proposal is now moving through the city's review process. In other news, the Sky are back on the hard count. Tonight, they will face the New York Liberty at Wintrust Arena. The Sky are 13-22 with a slim chance for postseason play. They are in 10th place and are 6.5 games behind in the 8th and final WNBA playoff spot, with 9 games left. In other news, thousands of Ethiopians are now at risk of deportation after a federal judge allowed the Trump administration to end protections for them. It's the latest of several court rulings to strip protections for more than 1 million people who have been allowed to legally live and work in the United States. The ruling denied a request from an organization to postpone the termination of relief known as temporary protected status, while the group's legal challenge plays out. And Serena and Venus Williams returned to the doubles court together Monday at the Cincinnati Open, their first doubles appearance since the 2022 U.S. Open. The sisters lost a close 3-set match to Marta Kostyuk and Peyton Stearns, 2-6, 6-1, and 10-8 in the opening round. Despite the loss, the 14-time Grand Slam doubles champions said they enjoyed being back on the court together. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like All United Imports Incorporated, imported foods from Africa, Jamaica, and the Caribbean islands, located at 2525 South Blue Island Avenue in Chicago. Nancy's Home Care, support for seniors, individuals with disabilities, and those facing terminal illness at 10146 Southwestern Avenue in Chicago.
I was having a medical procedure, and I wanted to ensure my kids would get my home should something happen to me. I called attorney Ted London. He provided the land, trust, and power of attorney. Now my kids will not have to go through the probate process.
After the death of my husband, I had to get my affairs in order. I called attorney Ted London. Now my family and home will not have to go through the probate process.
773-721-3333.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. That you can be vulnerable and powerful. That you can be more connected and resilient. And taking care of me makes us stronger. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Wishing you safe travels. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown at 95th, stop and go traffic 26 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 4-minute delay, 18 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow go, 16 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, slow-moving traffic, 36 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office. There is an accident on the right shoulder, Eisenhower before Des Plaines Avenue, 36 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 42 minutes. In Edens, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 16 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, night storms possible, high of 82 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, straight shower, high of 79 and a low of 66. In our city, it's currently 78 degrees and cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we're back. Cubs or Sox? You. What say you? Somebody said, he said segregation killed black baseball. I think he meant integration.
He definitely meant integration.
Yeah. Well, Lance Johnson, again, welcome to the show. What say you on our black boys and why they are not participating actively or in abundance as they are in basketball or football?
All right. Well, I could tell you what I've seen over like the last 35 years. Basically, it kind of all started because baseball wanted to go to World Baseball, and so happened I ended up playing in the first televised international game when Fernando Valenzuela was pitching. We played him over in Monterey, and all the brothers at that time, you know, we were talking about, this is going to be the beginning of the end for the black baseball player, and seeing that happen over the whole period has kind of been disgusting. But over the whole United States, this is what I've seen. You used to have inner city baseball in every state in the United States, and we had places to play until we were 12 years old. And then when we became 13, they introduced this thing called travel ball, which is very expensive. And most black families can't afford travel ball because you got to pay for your equipment, you got to pay for all the travel and all that stuff. So what was happening behind the scenes is that a lot of our good black baseball players were getting hurt at the basketball and football through travel ball. Okay, now, at the same time that this was going on, okay, you had, you know, the major league celebrating Jackie Robinson, okay, which, you know, was a great thing, you know, because he broke the color barrier. And the funny thing about all of that, and I played in the first Jackie Robinson game, okay, and ended up being player of the game of that.
Nice.
But it probably meant to me more than anybody else on the field because I went to South Alabama where Eddie Stanky, the guy that spoke up for Jackie when they were playing, he was from South Alabama. I went to South Alabama, and then his best friend was George Kissel, who ran the St. Louis organization. So ultimately, I ended up getting drafted to St. Louis. And then George Kissel, you know, taught me all the tricks of the trade and took care of me. And I ended up, you know, going through all those levels that y'all was talking about earlier, but it was 6 levels with St. Louis.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
thank you, Lance. That's you know, that's quite a journey because along with all of the people that have made it, including yourself, you know, just having that legacy and giving us a navigation through that type of journey, it just becomes so competitive. But now the question is, you know, how do we get back to baseball? I would love to see us get back to baseball, or is that even possible?
Well, right now it's pretty bad. Right now it's pretty bad because at the major league level, okay, and this is what I also found out because I've been doing research over this. I've been watching it over the last 35 years. They have they dropped the draft rounds down to like 20, okay? So, and then you got independent ball, all right, which is another animal, all right, because, and that's making it harder for the black athlete to make it because independent ball, I hate to say it's a good old boys network.
Yes.
Okay, and they ain't taking any of us. So basically where we are now, and then they're talking about dropping the draft down to, I think, somewhere around 12 rounds. If they drop it down to 12, it's already over.
Okay.
For us. It's already over, you know, and I just seen so much, and it's not looking good for us. So look at it this way. Okay, we're getting hurt at the basketball, we're getting hurt at the football. Okay, so the families that can afford travel ball is probably less than half of a quarter of a percent of the population that is playing. Okay, so those are bad statistics right there. You know.
Yeah.
So now you're losing your best players. They're getting hurted to other sports, and then some of them they're not doing nothing because the ones that are just only playing baseball, they're done. So if you're not a 2 or 3 sport athlete, it's over for you in baseball if your parents can't afford it.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of the fortunate ones where, they'll come and pick you up and bring you back home. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right. Glenn, what were you going to say?
So basically what Lance is saying is that if you have all these layers of cake and that cake represents the racism that exists, then you got to go through layer after layer after layer after layer. And that makes it, by the time that you get to the top layer where the icing go, they didn't already cut you.
Wow.
So racism, the existence of it, and unfortunately, white America would rather have an Hispanic as opposed to a black. That's what it gets down to. So they'd rather take a Valenzuela or the Jesus or Cirillo or whatever, mainly because they can control them a lot better. Whereas the black man, which is the natural African American, is
foundational Black American.
Yeah, it's harder to control.
Wow, that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
grab one of
fact.
these callers. Hey, Brother Chris, thank you so much for holding forever. Okay.
No problem.
Real quick. And I hate to rush you, but real quick.
Okay. I'll be quick. I don't watch baseball no more. Ain't no color. But shout out to Lance Johnson, one of my fellow Triton Trojans. 1996, 21 triples, 50 steals, 333 All-Star. One of the only players in Major League, leading the league in triples 4 consecutive seasons.
Wow.
And also the homie Kirby Puckett, also a Triton Trojan, along with myself on the basketball squad. But Lance was the real deal.
All right.
Nice.
And I wanted to say something about the police situation, but
yeah,
I'm
real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
I did too. I did too.
Yeah, speak on that.
So real quick. In New York, when Giuliani had the broken glass theory, where if you punish small crimes, it deters big crime. It was a fallacy because all the crimes and the drugs, guns was by whites. Don't take my word for it. Look at the FBI stats.
Oh yeah,
when
just like drugs.
When Obama tried to pass 21st century policing and put police at one federal where they have all the same federal rules on policing, your boy Tim Scott knocked it down.
Yeah, thank you. All right, for sure. Thank you so much, Brother Chris. All right, let's go ahead and grab the Cell. Cell, you're live on WVON.
Dr. LaDonna.
Yes, sir.
I love to call your name. Hey, Ken.
What's going on, Brother Sal?
If I can go back.
Well, I know he's going to keep it brief. Cell is brief.
Yes, the call. And that art. And what he had to say about the young lady's comments. Listen, we have this expression about the chickens are coming home to roost.
Yes.
We need to be seeing what are we going to do about the rats when they come back home? What are we going to do about the dogs when they come back home? What are we going to do about the snakes when they come back home? And I'm referring to these black Trumpers specifically.
Well, the snakes are already here. Thank you, Cell.
Okay. Hold on. I want to hear him extrapolate.
He talking about
I'm through with them.
He talking about the blacks that helped Trump get in.
They have exposed themselves for what they represent. I called Randy after his comment about that little silly dude, Mark Carter. Now I can go real deep on who this little.
Well, let's be respectful. Let's be respectful on this show. We're gonna be respectful about.
Call me on Friday. You can run it.
You call them on Friday and you run that. But we're gonna be respectful on the afternoon show Monday to Thursday. All right, thank you, Sal.
So you're censoring our callers?
Yeah, absolutely. You know
Let
what?
them cook.
You know, I love how you said that and put me out. You just put me out all day. It's all good. I see
Let
what
'em
team
cook.
you're on. Guys, we're going to go to break. I tell you that. We'll be back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats and get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Coming to Wind Creek Casino and Hotel for one night only, it's the Terry Hunter Live Music Experience, presented by Dion Cole. For the first time ever, the music that has defined Terry Hunter's legendary career comes to life with a full live band, incredible vocalists, and an unforgettable production. Get your tickets for the August 29th show now at windcreek.com/Terry Hunter. It's only at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
City updates don't wait, and neither should you. With the OEMC app, one tap gets you real-time alerts, weather info, safety tips, and city info. Stay smart, stay safe, and never miss a beat. Download the OEMC app today.
It's Matt McGill.
President Trump participating in the dignified transfer of the bodies of people who were lost in battle. What the hell are we doing putting people in harm's way? Why we got an 18-year-old in harm's way? This girl just graduated from high school. Some of y'all got the nerve to defend Donald Trump? Really? It's a damn shame, man.
Weekdays at noon on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Why make things harder than they need to be? There's a better way to save time and money. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
They say I'm crazy. All right, we're back, and we are talking to All-Star. We're talking about baseball, rather. We're talking about baseball star, White Sox alum, okay, Lance Johnson. Am I saying this right?
Lance Johnson.
The Lance Johnson. Of course, Glenn Richardson. No, I'm just kidding. Glenn Richardson is in. And callers, we see you guys, but I want to hear what Lance has to say. He said, I want to talk about it too. We were talking about the police situation. What did you want to add to that conversation?
Yeah, well, see, my dad, he was a cop and detective in Cincinnati, right? And so, you know, what the conversation that he had with me that I brought down to my kids was, if a policeman pulls you over, the way to de-escalate everything is say, "How may I assist you, officer?" Just that simple. how may I assist you, officer? You know, and when you approach them that way, hopefully you don't end up getting one of the guys who's racist. You know what I'm saying? And that had an agenda before, and you could de-escalate everything from the beginning because like the other guy was talking about earlier. You know, the kids are different now than we were growing up. You know, you got some bad kids, you got some well-mannered kids, and really,
and some wannabes.
Want to be
Right.
what
Wanna be
though?
tough.
Yeah, want to be tough for sure.
Right. So, you got to look at the way the cops think about it too, because hey, when you going up to a car, you really don't know what you coming up to.
Right. I get that.
All right. Well,
you got illegal, people coming over here. You don't know what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? They might panic, and you might catch a bullet if you're a cop. So, that's what I was taught, and that's the conversation I had, with my kids.
I'm writing that down because I'm gonna try it. Well, I hope I don't have to exercise that. But let's go ahead and grab Claude real quick. Hey, Claude, thanks for waiting. What you got for us?
I'll make this real quick.
Thank you.
I did 11 years with my own police department. I did 39 years with Amtrak. I trained SWAT teams on railroad equipment.
Oh, wow.
Seeing it from the inside.
Come on.
I promised to both of you I was going to send you some information. The thing that gets forgotten is this. The police are supposed to enforce the law. If you don't know what the laws are, if you don't know what your oath obligated you to do, you will violate it. It's a shame when former service members have to remind police officers of their oath, the constitutional oath. The Constitution is the law of the land. The problem we have is you have a lot of officers in America that have been trained by bulletproof warrior training. That's what got Philando Castile executed in his car.
Oh, say that one again. I missed that one. I'm sorry.
Okay. Bulletproof warrior training was a training protocol by an Army Ranger colonel given to police departments. Not to mention the fact that some police departments were trained by the IDF, and you know what they're doing in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have the mindset of a hammer and then see everyone in the public as a nail. You can't do that. If you militarize your police force, you're going to have a problem. And many times, law enforcement officers, policemen, sometimes referred to as cops, forget that. Guess what? You, the taxpayer, you know who his boss is? You. You're the boss. They don't like to hear that, but it's the dying truth. And here's the thing: you can put the Constitution on your phone or go buy it. It's a 40-page booklet that everybody ought to know. You learn about it in high school. You have to pass public law in 95. If you were to ask the average policeman, what is your First Amendment? What's the First, Second, Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights that every citizen has? You'd be surprised at the answers. CPD has a patrolman's guide. Rule number 19. When asked by the public, you are to give name and badge number. Not an attitude, not point to your nameplate and say right there. Is that what you tell the judge? Come on. I mean, it's attitude. You cannot bring your ego into that job. The man that trained me, my field training officer, my sergeant, he was a combat Marine and an officer in the Coast Guard. Some people thought he was, as they say, anal retentive. You know why? Because he believed in the Constitution. He believed in that oath that we all swore to.
Thank you, Claude.
It boils down to that. I'm done.
Thank you. That was good, Claude. Make
Thank you,
sure you
Claude.
keep in touch with me because we're gonna have to have a whole show
Claude,
on that.
he ain't
I want to.
do nothing but tell the truth.
I want to know definitely the inside tricks of the trade. That's helpful. Leslie, let's get you real quick. I hate to be real quick with you, and Claude went a little bit long, but it was some good information. Hey, Leslie, what you got for us?
Hey, good afternoon or good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Was,
Good evening.
This was very full, right? Giving us so much information, and especially about our children and what we really need to do, pull our sleeves back to help them. And so I want to just tell you what I'm doing. I've partnered with the D Foundation. I know Dr. Julian is there with you all as well, but I've partnered with them. I work as a case manager for Catholic Charities. I'm also a children's ministry director at a church. And so just being in the trenches like most of your guests are, we need a platform, and we need to be able to come together and mentor children, mentor kids, have a place where we can all be able to work together and be able to really pour into them. And so I want to encourage everybody, just like I've done. I've partnered with the D Foundation, with Mary D and her legacy, October 30th. I got my tickets. I hope you guys could do that as well. And just go onto the dfoundation.com. And if there's so many things that you've talked about on this show, come along with me, partner with business professionals like all of us are, so we can have an opportunity to pour into our young people.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I just want to give you guys the floor. Glenn, you came in studio. Lance, you are a legend. Let's go ahead and drop the mic for you guys. Glenn, love to hear from you real quick.
Well, I think the whole purpose was to try to figure out how we can get blacks back in baseball.
Yeah.
And Lance is already trying to state that the layers that they can use to provide us from not getting up there are so thick. And so what they do is they just say, hey, we put him through this level and make him look like he's going somewhere that he ain't going nowhere. So the racism that exists is still there. And it's more because they added more layers.
Yeah.
Lance, let me hear from you.
Yeah, well, I've had an interesting life, playing baseball. And I remember one day I was in my locker room and sitting down, and a reporter came up to me the year that I think I was going to have my first arbitration. And this is the question that he asked me. He asked me, does racism exist in Major League Baseball? And he really upset me by asking me that question, because he really didn't care nothing about me and my family. He was trying to mess my money up by asking me that question.
Yeah, that was game.
Tell it.
Right. So, I got on him pretty good about it. And then I told him, I said, if I can't, I finished off by saying, if I can't answer that question, then what does that tell you? And then I dropped the mic on him.
I know that's right. Thank you, Lance. Thank you so much. We are out of time. Mustafa, make sure you call us at 3:00. I want to hear from you. Okay. But you just call in and just start going in. Okay. Guys, you've been listening to the afternoon show. I'm Dr. LaDonna Ray. What's your name here?
Ken Duncan.
Yeah. State Rep Ken Duncan. And I can't
who
wait.
Played baseball in grammar school.
In grammar school. I love it. And thank you so much, Glenn and Lance, for joining us, and all of our other guests that have joined us today. We definitely want to have you back. And this is amazing. It's amazing being here. Guys, we are over our time, but we want to thank you for the time. And I want to take time to read those comments. I'm going to read them I can't read them when I'm driving, but when I get home, I will. Happy birthday, Logan. Happy birthday to you. All right. That's it. I'm out.
Happy birthday, Logan.
Bye-bye for now.
Good evening, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Jesse White Tumblers take the AGT stage tonight. NASCAR